Good evening, Kobashi. How's things in the dojo?
We are welcome, Mr. Hammer-san.
Thank you so much.
Yes, I'm glad you. Hey, but you should have knocked. I mean, Jesus, like, could be doing stuff, you know, like. Welcome to the dojo.
It looks like you guys have been smoking a bit.
No, we haven't. It's
well, we walked in.
Basically, I don't know if you know Mr. Hammer, but we are quite large lads, and it's just basically Jess was doing a bit of lunging out the back, and he's wearing corduroy, so it's a bit like a groin burnout. Yeah.
I'm running a bit fat.
He's running a bit, not lean.
Fantastic.
Yeah, welcome to the dojo, sir. And how's your day?
My day has been fantastic. It's been obviously not as exciting as yours from what it looks, but just looking after the kids. I did another stream earlier, so You're a very busy man. I've been tuning in. I've been putting aside making more children and tuning in to your show. It has its pros and cons about making more children. I can tell you that. I've got 3, and it's a lot of work, man.
We need to get your channel out into some of the like the butlers, you know, and the Merriwars of the world. We need to get it beamed into televisions in there and bring down the population of some of those areas. So yeah.
Well, you know what I'm most grateful about is that some people actually take the time out on what have we got today? This is a Wednesday night. To take the time out and watch us having a conversation rather than tuning into Netflix. You know what I mean?
It's Kobashi and chill tonight, so
it's fantastic.
One day you'll get a coffee desk, chairs, your own program. Say no more.
Way ahead of you, man.
Say no more.
Look, actually, this here will be a first. This is what my wife gave me on when was this? Was this Father's Day the other day? Look at this.
Ambassador of Rock.
And I'll show it over here to people watching. So
more job.
This is my little name. So I'm putting that right here behind my screen. I've got people actually. I can show this as well, so people can sort of see what my setup looks like over here. So this is my stream, and this is everything. I've got some Kobashi website. I've got the Facebook stream running here. So this is a little behind the scenes. You guys can see it when you watch it back, because it's my little secondary camera. But
you don't want to give away the secrets, though. I mean,
I am definitely not giving away the secrets.
We don't want Mr. Hammer's. You know, and being the MC yourself, we don't want you guys springing up everywhere. You know, we want to keep it cozy.
Exactly. For what it looks like, I need a smoke machine just to sort of keep up with you guys.
Well, we look bad without the smoke,
or a groin blowout.
So the smoke's better for the viewers, basically.
Basically, we're still sticking with the theory of gorillas always look better in the mist.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
So,
so far away. What would you like to know about the juggernaut that is Kobashi?
Perth's heaviest band.
Perth's heaviest rock act.
I like that analogy that you're the heaviest band in Perth. How do you come up with that?
It's not hard. Yeah, it's pretty well. It speaks for itself. Yeah, Macca's. We tend to eat a lot, and one of my favourite things that I like to eat is tuna sandwiches. So I don't know if you can see that, but tuna sandwiches definitely my favourite. So we do eat a lot. I don't know if you noticed, but we're into it all the time. It's the only way to maintain a figure. And if you want to look as good as us, other folks out there, tuna sandwiches are definitely the way to go. We've got Jess on a bit of a diet. We've been trying to get him to sort of cut down a little bit because he's blowing out a bit, old Jess.
And I'm in a carbo loading phase.
He's
the protein.
He's blowing out a bit, but
we'll get back to that one.
Yeah, so we he's on the little clip-on tuna sandwiches. So
Bloody clip-on.
now we apologise for the smoke, but I basically said to Jess tonight, I said, I'm a bit nervous. I was a bit nervous about tonight. I said, mate, can you duck down and pick us up a bit of the old
You could say it.
marijuana. And I was
It's
asking
safe.
yeah, but the dickhead come back with Moana. So yeah, so there goes that. We're in for a fat time until that happened, but we apologise for that.
Oh, you guys are on a roll, man. Love it.
Always.
We just have rolls.
That's how we.
Yeah, it's pretty much how we got to how we are.
That's how we get to where
A
we are.
lot of rolls, yeah.
Rolling around.
Usually the ones from Bunnings.
Fantastic. Well, can you sort of just speaking about eating tuna sandwiches? What is a proper sort of rockstar diet? Like what should you eat if you want to sort of?
Well, it depends.
If you want to sort of compete in becoming the heaviest band in Perth.
Well, look, we have a guitarist who's obviously not here.
We won't let him on camera.
He's
Have you
too
seen
skinny.
him?
He's far too
He's
skinny.
thin.
He's behind us.
Yeah, nice tan. He's got a whole head of hair and that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he is here, but he's just under one of our
But
bum
we've tied him around the back. We've laid a couple of Marshall stacks cabs on top of him, and he's not allowed on. Are you all right? I think we killed him. But yeah, so if you eat like that bloke, which he doesn't eat much at all, but the proper rock diet, you got to remember, if you're putting on a big show, you need energy.
That's right.
And that's yeah. So
Yeah, big sound.
So you need
big
stuff
diet.
like beer. You need stuff like Maccas, like standard gear. And then you need to be lazy, Mr. Hammer. You don't get
Lazy.
about it you can't do exercise now. You're not going to see any lunging from KOBASHI. You're not going to see much. You're not going to see much at all. You're going to see us standing there playing guitar. Being lazy is the key to success of being a heavy rock band.
What is that?
It's
Oh,
basically
lollipop.
a drill with a pedal pop in it.
So anyone listening, when this goes out on podcast, we're having you actually putting a lollipop into a drill, and that's the best way of really consuming a lollipop in no time.
Well, it saves energy. We don't want to waste,
Of course not. Of course.
empty sort of carbs and stuff. So we won't need to bulk up.
I mean, a lot of bands like to associate themselves with animals like eagles, tigers. We like to associate ourselves with like wombats, walrus,
Dugong.
dugongs, the old manatee, so
Just to go subsea.
not so fierce, but definitely can survive a nuclear winter, if you know what I mean. So
Fantastic. But where does KOBASHI come from? Like, how do you come up with that name?
I'm glad you asked, Mr. Hammer, because it was a bit of an accident, actually. Just if you want to know what this is, ladies and gentlemen, it's 100 senseis. We ring out their geese at the end of each workout, and it goes into this bottle here and it ferments. And
Basically, it's old Japanese man sweat.
yeah, basically. So
Fantastic.
yeah, it's called shiitake. So yeah, but so what happened was we decided to go with the whole Japanese samurai thing because I love me martial arts.
Yeah, I could tell from one of your videos we had earlier when you were doing some self-defense lessons from the rehearsal room.
We do, mate. We're pretty bad.
Excuse me, it's the dojo, Mr. Hammer.
Dojo. I
Dojo,
I apologize. Thank you.
Yeah, dojo, Mr. Hammer. So yeah, what basically happened is because we're into and musical martial arts, not any type of martial arts, well, any stretch of the imagination, musical martial arts that you can apply whilst doing a gig, because we all know out there it's pretty dangerous. We work in a dangerous environment. Lots of weird guys and girls out there that want to maybe sometimes get a bit close.
Since when?
Yep.
Well, remember that guy once? Or was he just coming to talk to us?
No, he wasn't getting close. It's just our guts were close to him. That's all.
Maybe just someone wants to talk to us, and you can't let that happen. You need to act, and you need to act fast and sharp and fast. Maybe he was just coming to talk to us.
More than likely. So, yeah.
So getting back to KOBASHI, because we're into that kind of thing, we wanted to go with the whole Japanese samurai thing. Spent a lot of time in Japan. And as you can tell by us three that we're very close to one of the national sports of Japan.
Chess.
And, chess, yeah. So we decided to go down that whole Japanese theme. My wife's Japanese. I speak a little bit of Japanese myself. And being so good at Japanese, I thought I'm going to come up with a Japanese word that is kind of very representative of our music, which is punchy, all that kind of thing.
It hits you in the face.
Hits you in the face. And so I asked my wife, because I wasn't too sure what it is, and she said, Kobashi-san. And I went, yeah, very good. So I wrote it Kobashi. In actual fact, it's spelled Kobushi. So our name was supposed to be Kabushi, but I spelt it wrong, registered the trademark, put out all the promo, made the page, made the millions of shirts, sold millions of CDs, you know, all on the billboards throughout the States and the world. Our name was out there, and I spelled it wrong. So I had to Google what Kobashi meant, and it's actually a gay wrestler in Japan.
Nice.
But hey, he's very good. He had a world title, so yeah.
Well, then hopefully you can do the soundtrack to when he walks on stage or something. You know, he
It's
can
more of
walk
a
out.
mix, but yeah.
Yeah, well, thinking about like a bit of jazz mixed with polka, mixed with a bit of metal fusion. So yeah, that'd be quite cool.
Wicked. So that would obviously be a bit of a different style compared to the intro song that we heard.
Yeah, which was Viking, I believe. Is that the one you used?
Yeah, absolutely. That's sort of a bit more up my alley, you know, being from Scandinavia. So
we paid homage to you tonight, sir, and we're drinking Hollandia beer. So being Scandinavian, but very good. What part of the world exactly, Mr. Hammer?
Danish. Mr. Kobashi.
Well, we had Danishes earlier, but Jess and I got here early too, so the best we could do was Hollandia beer. So.
Hollandia, yeah, we apologise for that.
We Dutched the room out in your honour.
Yeah, we Dutched the room, and we ate the Danishes. So.
And we even had the clogs prepped, but
that's more Dutch, though.
that's Holland. I know. We just for some reason I swear the guys from Holland. So I went out.
Everybody thinks that.
I learned to do the dance, and I'm growing some tulips. So, well, not to worry. But Danish, very good.
Yeah,
I'm very interested in a lot of that Nordic. My family's from a place called Schwabisch Hall in Germany. And
nice.
Our ancestors come from around that area as well. We lived in a place called Schwabisch Hall, and it's where the Rhine sort of steps up a little bit, and it's as far as they could take the Viking ships. So a lot of the Schwaben language is very similar dialect, sort of coming from that part of the world as well. So
yeah, we can. Yeah, there's not much water sort of surrounding Germany. There's not very many places to sort of steer a ship there.
And now, if I was to say,
not with that attitude, no.
Yeah, fair. Now, if I was to say, I'm going to try a bit of Danish. If I was to say it's the best tour in the world, bar none, would it be Beste tour I verden någonsin?
No, I have no idea what that sounds like.
Yeah, it's probably just made up. Yeah, so
yeah, you probably too many of those Hollandia beers or something.
Probably.
Not bad.
It's like when you use German microphones and you sort of speak German the whole time until you swap one out for an American one. You know, it's sort of yeah.
Yes, lots of ways to sort of approach those problems, man. First world problems, isn't it?
So just for the people at home, this is Adam, everybody. Adam from Kobashi.
Hi, Adam from Kobashi.
Hello,
course,
Mr. Hammer.
Are you alive still, Pete? Yeah, I don't think he's doing too good. He's probably sleeping, actually.
Well, you need to put him on a diet though, so he can keep up with you guys.
Look, we've tried to throw everything down his throat, and he just rejects.
We've basically got him on a drip of canola oil, and it's kind of not really working. He just looks like those guys that inject stuff in their muscles to look big, you know, like it's not kind of working.
No good.
He's now got a massive dong. I think that's where it's all going. So we're going to pull stumps on that and just get him back on the tuna sangers.
That's a whole different problem to have, isn't it?
It's pretty full on. So yeah, and this is Jesse, everybody. Jesse's the actual music guru of the band.
Hey, Jesse.
Hi.
He's
Hi.
He's high.
I'm high.
Hey.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi.
Hey.
You look like a version of Jon Snow. Have you heard that before?
He looks like he's eaten Jon Snow.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. And the last bit, which was his head, got stuck to his face.
People of the North.
No.
It's funny because when we ever play, I'm just going to sort of talk about whenever we play, we attract people like ourselves. We're kind of like.
What was that?
Game of Thrones, mate.
Huh?
Jon Snow, Game of Thrones. Never heard of it. You've never heard of Game of Thrones?
No.
That's it, guys. I'm out. See you later.
Listen, I want to tell you, we rescued him from a cult, all right? He was from a cult in Tasmania. Not many people know about it, but we saved him because he could play bass guitar. All right.
He's also mildly retarded.
He's slightly,
but he is, but yet still the guru.
He's the music guru because that's all he's ever done. Head in books, music.
Says a lot about us.
It says, yeah, we got nothing. Yeah.
Except smoke machines and McDonald's.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we're comfortable with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easily, yeah, strange.
I'm worried about Pete kicking in the back. I think he's coming. I'm hearing noises back there. I think he might be.
That's just my guts.
I think he might be.
I'm hungry.
He's hungry. Yeah. So that's how Kobashi came about. But basically, Adam was. You were working at a servo, to be honest, weren't you, mate?
I was.
Were you robbing it or working at it?
A little from column A, little from column B.
I think he was stealing food at a service station. He got stuck on the window.
I got paid with all the leftovers.
Tried to climb out of. And I was coming home one night because I used to own a couple of studios down in Joondalup, some recording studio and rehearsal studios. And I was coming back one night, late night, and I think I was picking up milk or something. And if Adam shows you might be able to see, but he's got guitars and stuff on his arm.
Nice.
And I asked
because
the
I'm a drummer.
Question of, mate, are you a bit of a muso, are you? And he's gone, oh yeah. And I went, oh yeah, I thought so, because you've got guitars on your arm. And he said, well, no shit, So we started talking about music, and I said, well, you have to come down to the studio one day, and I think, and have a bit of a jam. And he come down, and he's an excellent drummer, an excellent guitarist, a really shit marathon runner, and. But
I float as well, so
it floats very good.
Good for kids' parties.
Yeah. Yep. So and we actually do kids' parties, folks. I notice it's sort of one of the people like to get around sort of, and they wear those those sumo suits that they got the things bolted to them, and the air goes in and it puffs it out and it makes like the big sumo suits. Yeah. We don't need to blow them up, so. So we just turn up and they're kind of skin tight, but hey, look, we make them look good. We make them work for us. So, but he was doing that, and I happen to work with this fella, so I was watching him play sort of bass and that where I work, and he is a guy who can just sight read music and play anything, and can read and write and do all those wonderful things, and so which kind of helps. But he brings maybe you should use this or you should use that, and maybe you should come up with a crescendo right here, and we go like, what the fuck's a crescendo? And so we learn a lot from this fellow. Really
the best part is then Jai ignores it, like he takes all that on board and quickly dismisses it, and then just does whatever he wants anyway, and we have to follow. So
basically 1-4-5 power chords, or it's not a ballad. So.
Nice. So how do you guys write the music then? Is that this Jon Snow man?
No, it's really simple. The boys sort of all go home and they come up with these massive, enormous, monstrous guitar pieces, and I turn them into melodic punk shit, and basically go, that's way too hard for me. Let's simplify it. So we get the simple stuff that we play, because. And Pete, if he's still alive, writes very much like Megadeth. So we're sort of creeping into that. Yeah, so I'm slowly joining the dark side, because I come from basically a country music background.
Oh, really?
No shit. So, country and music comedies were sort of my background, and I've always liked heavy music, but I just never played it. And we're sort of heading down that path, and I was in a band with this bloke years ago called Blackjack, and we slowly started leaning towards rock and heavier stuff, and we're kind of in a weird space because we're somewhere between heavy metal and rock at the moment, where
it's unusual. If someone was to ask us what sort of music we played, I normally just say we just write stuff that we grew up listening to.
Good point.
We're all middle-aged, man. We all grew up with so we've got 80s hair rock, we've got grunge, we've got a bit of thrash style. It's just what we loved. So you get all those elements in our music because this is what we're comfortable with, and no one's doing that anymore.
And I try and bring the vocals as if Leo Sayer shagged Steve Earle, and you've got that sort of blend of really high-pitchy, weird, warbling music versus a guy that looks like he's going to blow his larynx out any minute. So,
fantastic, man.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And it's worth turning up to see me drop dead on stage from just busting the gut trying to sing some of the stuff that these guys are playing. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. But we're slowly morphing. We're in a transitional period, I guess, continually. I don't know where it's going to end, but
in what way, though?
We're heading somewhere. Oh, we're getting heavier, no doubt.
So is our music, though. So
yeah. It's like it's pretty funny. Like, I mean, if you've seen us playing pop songs, it wouldn't quite look right. So yeah.
It definitely, like, I think you definitely suit the look and the style of the music. Like, again, it is, as you're saying, the heaviest band in Perth. I really like that image or that.
Well, it's funny because a lot of people haven't heard. They don't. I spam the fuck out of people. I've got no fear. I don't care because all that. But I'll give people a hard time, and I'll throw Kobashi in everywhere, and everyone's heard of us, but people are going, who the fuck? And I go, we're the heaviest band in Perth. And someone will click onto something like, I don't know, we've got a song called The Preacher, and it's a pop song. And it's so not heavy. And people listen to that, and they just go, who the fuck are these guys? Like, who do they think they are, heaviest band in Perth? No one gets that we're taking the piss. We're probably going to let the secret out of the closet here tonight, but we are so taking the piss, it's hilarious. And we've got some people's backs up, which I think is even funnier, which just don't get it, and I'm just having a ball. And, yeah, as I said, that's one of the things. I did comedy for a lot of years, and my comedy was pretty dividing, and I get a real kick out of the people that don't get it as much as the people that love it. So the people that it sends the wrong way, well, I love that they still – there's people out there that just, as I said, don't get us, and they talk about us, and people talk about us, and it's usually – who the fuck are Kobashi?
That's a good name for a movie.
It's funny you say that, Adam, because we're actually in the middle of a documentary at the moment called Who the Fuck are Kobashi? And it's once again, it's our sense of humour, a bit of a piss take about how we came to be.
That's so cool. That is so cool.
Yeah, but
our music, though, I mean, honestly, like, we don't muck around. We're not clowning with the music.
No, we're serious. We're very serious with the music, but then so was Spinal Tap.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I'd love to hear more about that. How you're sort of using comedy to sort of create a bit more focus and more content. Again, if you're saying you're sort of building a documentary as well.
We can't not do comedy. Have a look at us. All right, we're not male models or anything like that. We're funny to look at, so we might as well be funny.
Yeah, and again, like you completely threw me here as well. I mean, like before we went live, you did say that you were gonna sort of take the piss a little bit and stuff, but like I didn't know you guys were gonna go all in. Like this is hilarious. I love it.
It's what we do, Mr. Hammer. And
yeah,
here's the thing too.
And Jai and I bounce off each other well.
We fucking do. Oh yeah. It's very dangerous. They say bull in the china shop, but two Kobashi members in an auditorium. Dead set dangerous. So. Right. Yes, honey. Could you grab us some beers and put that tiara on when you get back? Cause
do some crescendos.
But listen, when he's going to go, there's something special going to happen tonight for your viewers, Mr. Hammer. Has he gone? Has he gone yet?
Yeah, he's gone. Okay, look.
Okay, he's gone. Look at it. Okay, so see what we're wearing. Like, see these? Now, these are really cool, right? Now, I don't know if you can read it, the folks back home, but I think mine says like warrior or like fight to the death or unbeatable or something like that.
Mine is Sasquatch that walks like a man.
Sasquatch that walks like an ant. And, so like I got these from my sensei, Hakuba Mitsubishi Toyota-san. So I got him off that, who means a lot to me. So, like, I got them off him through years of. Now, if anyone wants to know the style of martial arts that I do, it is for. Okay, he's coming back. Okay, so we've got something special. That's not Pete. It's not. He's coming back. But the style we do is called no can do. All right. So if there's any people out there that want to learn it, tune in to the Kobashi TV, and you'll see more episodes on how to protect yourself out in that wild environment that we play. No can do.
Smoke. Right? Beer, smoke.
Yeah.
Beer and smoke.
Yeah.
I'll try again.
Yeah.
All right.
Not deer and joke.
Takes me a couple of times.
He's a simple lad.
I'll work on it. Give me a second.
We do feel sorry for him, though. I mean, grade 3 was the hardest 4 years of his life.
What was it again? What's he after?
Fuck, I've forgotten already.
Deer?
This is like that time I locked myself.
Oh, beer and smoke. We need more smoke
and beer.
Yeah. So
beer and smoke. No, you're saying
boy,
smoke
go
and
get
beer.
the beer and smoke. No, not here for a haircut. What are you doing,
You
mate?
need one too.
Yeah. So we're going to present him with his headband tonight.
Sorry,
he doesn't know what's going to happen, but he's been with the band 12 months, and he's going to get his headband. Now I'm going to show you. Yeah, just to let you know, you don't get your writing till you.
What's the red dot?
You got to develop your inner.
What's the red? It came out of your pants. What's the red?
It's definitely. All right. So. Now he's about to get it. Once he figures out how to get beer and smoke.
You pop the stitch.
I don't know. Something's happened, but we're going to give it to him now. This is very special, Mr. Hammer. Like, this doesn't happen every day. He's worked hard for 12 months.
We're actually letting people into the secret stuff that goes on in the dojo.
This is secret shit that goes on in the fucking dojo, man.
No, so this is a world first. No one's ever been able to see this.
Yeah.
I don't think I can see much at all.
I don't think we need any more smoke.
Yeah, that's enough of the smoke.
Yeah, I don't know if Pete died from being crushed or whether he died from smoke inhalation or what. I'm not too sure, but
where is he? I actually can't see.
He's gone for beer or something again. So
there he is.
What have you guys gone?
Oh fuck! Yeah. Sit down. There was something there. Sit down. You're the worst actor on the planet. Right, here we go. So, so can we do this now, Mr. Hammer? Is this cool if we do this now?
Please, I want to see how this works. So,
right,
so this is like is that like a formal induction into?
Well, okay. Look. I know there's heaps of martial arts out there that give out these bloody black belts and all. Everyone gets a black belt. Do Taekwondo for 3 weeks, you get a black belt. You know what I'm talking about? Not here, Mr. Hammer. Headbands. We all know that that's the real shit because I've seen Karate Kid. Cobra Kai is back out right now. This is the stuff.
I'm so glad you bring that up. I just finished season 1 last week, and I'm about to start season 2.
Yep. So,
was playing the same.
It's good Cobra things Kai. Come back. Good things come back because I haven't seen a headband since 1984 and the original Karate Kid.
Daniel LaRusso.
Daniel LaRusso, Mr. Miyagi. Miyagi. So, okay, so if you could please continue with the beautiful Serenity, sacred music in the background. Jesse, mate, you've been with the band now for 12 months. You've been with the band 12 months. We're really proud of what you're doing. And I think it's time, mate, that you become an official member of Kobashi.
Oh, I get one.
You get one.
I get one.
Now it's just a pimple. It will grow. As your skills grow, it'll grow.
I'm so excited. Oh, I feel it stirring in my loins.
This is beautiful.
That's my knee.
Oh, this is my dreams come true.
You've never had this on the podcast, have you?
Never. Probably never will again.
Probably never will again.
Official induction.
This is very, very unique. I think
oh
this.
My God.
This is probably the first and only time I'll get to have the heaviest Japanese metal band on. What happened?
He's just a dickhead. He just fell off his stool and just
Sheer
too much weight on his shoulders.
We were just bowing.
And
I think I got another red dot there.
But no, thank you. We waited for a special occasion. We waited a long time for this. And I knew that tonight was the right time.
Thank you, Mr. Hell.
Fantastic. Look, I'm honored. I'm very grateful for you guys sharing this live with us.
It's we wouldn't normally do it, but when in the mood, when in Rome, special occasion.
Exactly. So I've got a question here. So why is he like your dot on your headband is a big, thick red dot?
Yes.
Why is he's a lot smaller? And
well, basically, he doesn't get the black belt straight away.
Okay,
this is basically he's just earned his yellow belt.
Yep.
In the equivalent of, see, rather big red dot, kind of the equivalent to 146 dan in karate. Big red dot. Yep. And then if you can see what I've got written, like warrior or
basically,
murderer or something.
The more you do, the bigger your dot gets.
Yeah. So
right.
The more you do, you get a bigger dot. The more you hang out with us,
your dot grows.
Your dot gets bigger. Yeah.
So if I were to sort of one day trying to earn a really
your
a pimple headband, like what will I have to do? Like, do you have to be in Kobashi, or can you learn it? Can you learn the music self-defense?
Yeah, well, see, this is
remotely?
like let's get back to martial arts for a sec, because we all know like the Gracies almost perfected the best ground game on the planet. They knew the best ground game on the planet, but then they went and commercialized it, and they let everyone in on the secret. They sent Hoist out to UFC 1. And Hoist Gracie went out and he dominated the world with the ground game that they had. Completely took the world by storm, Mr. Hammer. We keep this in our inner sanctum. If you would ever like to do no-can-do and learn the skills of musical martial arts, you would need to participate not only in our band, but you need to become a brother.
And eat more, basically.
And sorry, but if you're not over 140 kilos,
I'm good at that though.
If you're not over 140 kilos, you've very little chance of getting your black belt. A lot of martial arts have to go to Japan to get their black belt. You need to attain the divine right of 140 plus kilos to become a supreme master of no-can-do.
It's worth 2 black belts.
It's hard work.
Just 2 black belts, one to the end, basically. The other. You don't get to do too many knots in it either. It's pretty much it's just Velcroed together.
I can see why that is such a big honor. Because it's not many people in the world that would even get that opportunity.
No. It's completely in house. Look, I'm willing to show you something. Would you like to see?
I would love to see. I would if you're happy to demonstrate.
So
can you see?
Depending on sort of how far you go, I can see that loud and clear. That looks dangerous.
It's pretty dangerous, yes.
Yeah.
Now, you don't mind if I play a little guitar?
Please
Thank
do.
All right, so look. So, you could be up on stage. And you're playing, you're doing your metal riffs. Knocking out some really good shit like that. And people, and here's the thing. People are all looking at you in the eye, Mr. Hammer. They're looking at you in the eye. Right in the eyes. So you don't know who the psychos are, because they look at you in the eyes as well. And you need to be prepared. And that's why I developed the butt method. I'll repeat. Boys, can you grab yourselves a guitar, please? Mr. Jeswar, if you could just grab a bass there, being the bassist. And I'm just going to get the boys on this. All right, boys. So, okay, we're going to do the butt method. And it's ready. It's ich, ni, san, shi, go, roku, sichi, haji, ku, ju, ichi, ni, san, she got rocket, sissy, haji, cool,
I think we've got an injury at the back here.
I've failed you.
Can't believe it. He got his medium-sized dot the other day too, and let me down. But so there you can see
I could definitely
the guitar for protection. Extend out, butt, roll it back in.
Keep playing.
Keep playing.
And can you do that during a song? Is that possible?
Look, for me, not a problem. For me, not
training.
a problem.
Takes years.
Takes a lot of training.
Yeah.
But, old pimple cook over here. I'm not too sure. He's probably got a long way to go.
He's got a couple of less strings too, though. So maybe I don't know. Maybe that makes it a bit easier.
Funny you should say.
I'll play a song. Oh shit!
Oh, are you for real?
I found a new move, Sensei. Whip him in the face.
All right, maybe I'll reconsider that pimple. Shit's getting way out of hand. I mean, come on, man.
It was a new move.
It wasn't approved.
You're not
For starters, it wasn't approved.
Is that the same as going into the ring, and same as just bringing up Karate Kid and Cobra Kai? Is that sort of playing dirty, like actually taking the strings off?
No. Basically, it's an unapproved move.
Right.
He now represents Kobashi, and if he goes out just throwing moves willy nilly, unapproved.
Yeah, it's no good.
No, there's no insurance for it. There's no need for it. I don't know the move. I've never seen the move. Blows my mind. It's a long time, I think, before his dot starts to open up a bit.
It's funny.
If you, I can definitely tell, like, with that sort of approval of your master, that is that like what would sort of be like the standard penalty for making moves like this?
Death.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a shame, especially now he's finally got his sort of official.
I was really
headband.
enjoying his bass playing too, but now I want to bring up something. You've had some really good guests on this show, I must admit. Some of them have been like, because I know you get guys to do a lot of shout outs to other bands they've seen in Perth, and basically we're not allowed out. We're all married. And so
there's someone for everyone.
We're not allowed out. Why do the comedy? Because we're fucking got nothing else. All right.
My wife's blind though. So.
Yeah,
mine's tight.
A couple of fellas that I really love, and you spoke about them before, is This Is Spud Gun. Do you want to know something? I actually had a little hand in putting that band together. I introduced Clint because I on this male dating site, right? So, called Blokes on Blokes. It's awesome. And I saw Clint and Ethan, and I just went, these two guys are made for each other. They both swiped right on me. I said, fellas, way too skinny, but I think I know someone that you should meet. I introduced Clint to Ethan to Clint, and look at where they are today.
It's beautiful.
Beautiful. Oh, it's just beautiful.
Look at where we are.
Look at
where we're at. So look, I want to talk about them because they've got the Spud funnel, which is kind of making waves right around Perth, but they stole the idea off us, Mr. Hammer. We didn't have the Spud funnel. No, we had the jerry can.
Wow. That actually looks like a level up.
3/4 Scotch or a good brand of whiskey, 1/8 of just pure ethanol, or if you can't afford it, make sure it's at least 98 petrol, and ice of your choice. Yeah, ice of your choice. You can get whatever ice you like, whether it be, well, actually the frozen type's the best, actually. So that, obviously you whip it out, funnel in, drink it, don't share it. That's the way, don't share it. So drink the whole lot, still try and do a gig. That's why we do 4-minute sets, because after I drink about that, that's about all I can do. So there we go.
And is that something you share with the audience as well?
Occasionally, but don't venues fucking hate it.
I suppose you need a pretty good public liability insurance as well.
Especially if I get the fucking fuel mixture wrong and it's like 50% petrol, Yeah, it's a bit like that Iraq that they drink in Bali. It's kind of pretty full on, but Yeah, pretty nasty gear. But look, if you can't drink petrol,
Oh,
what
absolutely.
are you?
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's just don't go to diesel. That shit'll fuck you up. So yeah,
Too much
I
oil.
think that's what happened to Pete.
Yeah. What did happen to Pete?
I think he's dead.
Petey.
Yeah. Pete.
Remember the Wizard of Oz? And you remember when the house came down?
Yep.
And the witch's feet were up and they were curling. He said, she's dying and stuff. Yeah, well, that's what's happening over there. Basically, Pete's under about 4 Marshall stacks. So
oh, man.
His toes are curled up.
Poor Pete.
I don't think that's his toe.
You'll probably have to go back on that male dating site and try and see if there's any other guitarists available.
Well, yeah, we're down to 2 people now after I... It's separate. Wondering what they got to do. So
how are you going to sort of carry out the actual punishment?
Okay, so if you're into your Japanese culture, a lot of people used to call it harikiri, but it's actually not called that at all. It's called seppuku, and it's by taking one sword and
maybe we could have him wrestle a bear.
Be much more fun, yeah.
From one of those dating
For you guys,
sites.
it would be. I'm sure you'd enjoy that.
Oh, just go for a jog in corduroy shorts and watch him burn to death. Yeah.
Velour underwear.
Yeah.
You could make some very good content for YouTube channel.
No,
Possibly. No.
I don't think anyone wants to do that.
No. I remember that 2 fat ladies program. Maybe she would have 3 fat blokes. And we just cook the worst shit on the planet.
Well, that's what we've been doing.
In my pants.
We don't fucking cook. We keep KFC in business. So,
Nice.
yeah.
Maybe a sponsorship would be in place. Is that something you've looked into?
Now we're talking. You know why? Because there's nothing like a family feast for one. So, yeah, KFC all the way for me. Yeah, I'm a massive fan.
But
Yourself,
that's it.
Adam, what do you like, mate?
All of it.
Yeah. Basically, the quack said you need to get more into your 5 food groups, and he did. He started eating Subway, KFC, Macca's, Nando's, and Hungry Jack's. Cover them all.
That's
a food pyramid for you right there.
Look, it takes commitment, but it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make to maintain this physique.
Yeah.
To sort of to retain the title as the heaviest band.
Well, these are things we have to do. If we're not going to lie.
No.
If we say we're the heaviest, we've got to be the heaviest.
We're definitely going to have to be the heaviest, yeah. In all your experience, Mr. Hammer, is there another band out there that would come to the proportions of roughly like 2.4 cubic tons?
Probably none that I can think of, just on the top of my head. Certainly no one I've had the pleasure of chatting to on the show so far.
Well,
you guys are by far. You guys by far take the cake.
You think this is a pleasure, and we do take the cake.
And I'm thinking
everything else.
We do take. Yeah, you leave it laying around, it's gone. Yeah, don't worry about that.
In fact, if you look at our on our Facebook page, there is a photo of one of the gigs, and somebody wrote up on the wall that KOBASHI ate everything. Yeah. And unfortunately, we can't deny that.
Actually, I think I figured out. Well, see, we've struggled to get gigs for quite a while. And,
why is that?
Well, basically, we shut down nearly every rider in Perth.
And there is OH&S issues with some of the stages.
Yeah. We've broken a few stages.
Load-bearing issues. And
of course.
It's no good. But I remember that time that we went and there was that rider and it was just all like fruit and shit. Oh, God.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, my God. Yeah, seriously, it's fruit.
Do you guys would you guys consider maybe like playing for food if it's the right food?
We have. That's basically what we do. Yeah. Except for Macca's hate it when we turn up and start jamming. They don't like it at all. Yeah. And even if we wear the whole costumes and stuff, we've applied for a lot of gigs around the place now. I want to talk about one gig in particular is that we've been trying to get on. We've been trying for a long time.
Serious.
We've been trying for a long time to get on, which what we think is the pinnacle in Perth.
The peak,
Mr.
Hammer.
The peak, Mr. Hammer. The upper echelon, the Everest of what we want to do as a band. I mean, people want to go and tour the world or play at Hellfest or go play in Germany and all that kind of stuff. We just want to play Perth Rocks Festival, Mr. Hammer.
Nice.
That's all we want.
But we've been overlooked.
We've been overlooked. We're not good enough. We're apparently we eat too much. Really disappointing. But you know what? We've received news that we've reserved a car park spot this year for the and we'll be appearing live in the car park. So that's
you can't keep a fat
fat band down. Yeah, you can't keep a fat band down. We are there. We are going to be there in all our large glory. And
there's a chicken treat right next door, right?
I think so.
Fuck yeah. We're in.
There is too. Yeah.
There is. I forgot all about it. And a pizza shop across the road.
Oh.
Why don't you?
Yes. We are there. So feel free to come and buy us pizza. And, we're going to be there doing all our hit, which you played earlier. We're going to be there playing, our solid hit. We'll be doing that pretty much for about, I reckon, till we sort of like
until you got the jerry can. Until the jerry can is empty.
We may need it because fuck, our cars use a lot of fuel pushing us around. So we might need the jerry can.
We'll be there until security remove us anyway.
Yeah, so. Basically, yeah.
Or get taken away by an ambulance or something.
Yeah, that's a very likely thing to happen. So we're going to do an acoustic show, and I believe you're going to play a drum, a garbage bin or something.
Oh, the slap me gut.
Slap it up. I'm going to be taking the massive Roland. All right, so I'm going to be taking the big cube. All right, so nice. I'll be playing through that. Actually, that's our sound system for the show.
So you'll be busking pretty much.
No, I'm going to
it's still a show, all right.
I'm going to take a desk, like a full desk. I've got a 78 Allen and Heath channel desk, which I'm going to plug into this.
Makes sense.
Yep. It makes total sense, and we're going to plug into that.
There's no excuse for bad sound.
There's no. That's another thing too. There's no excuse. Only the best for Kobashi, the best, loudest band in Perth as well. Through this fucking epic sound system here.
It looks it looks huge. That one.
Massive. It's really.
Are you talking about the amp still, or just us?
The amp, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
It
would be rude otherwise.
We're so used to hearing it. We apologise for that.
So what is it about sort of Perth Rocks that makes that sort of the main top of the bucket list? Or is there any other gigs that would be?
No, it's all the other bands on it. Like they're just phenomenal.
Yeah,
they're phenomenal. Like some of the bands, like there's
look, have you ever been rejected by a pretty girl?
I'll have to say yes to that. Yeah.
And did that put you off, and did that make you want her more?
In some cases, yeah. In other cases, I would go home and cry and move on to the next one.
Well, we've done the cry.
We cried a lot,
and we've been put off by the ugly girl, and we're still, desperate to get with her. So, if you know what it's like to pursue something that doesn't want you,
she puts out like really good. So,
so that's why Perth Rocks. It's just we're pursuing this girl that doesn't love us.
It's the pinnacle. It's the pinnacle. It's the pinnacle in Perth for what we do. You cannot get a better concert to showcase what we do here with Kobashi.
We do have another awesome gig coming up though down in Bunbury. So
yeah, of course. And you've had Mr. Kelvin Whitwell on as well.
Yeah, what a champion.
Yeah, I've had him on my podcast too. What a great guy. Great guy. Massive story, and he probably told you his life story. And his brother Joel's another one that's telling his life story right now. And both those boys have had some dark times in their life, and to come through where they're at now is absolutely sensational. So, beautiful men. Had a lot to do with Kelvin and a movie called Anticipation, which I'm not sure if you're aware of, that a local guy by the name of Peter Ranzullo put together. And, he's on the cusp of some great things, old Pete. And Kelvin, his role in that film blew my mind. He was so believable, and I'll be honest, I said to Pete when he was casting, and Pete and we go back years and are very good friends, and he was telling me the concept of the film, and I actually got a bit of a sneak peek on a podcast going back 3 years ago for that film. And it was about, I'm making this film, and I'm thinking of these characters, and it kind of took all these turns and twists. And when I saw him cast Kelvin for that role, I sort of questioned it, and I went, "You sure it's the right guy? He doesn't." But mate, he absolutely nailed the part, and he's. I mean, Pete for that film was a casting agent. He was everything, you know. Man, this fella make a small appearance in it as well, but
large cameo, but
small film time. So, but yeah, he's an amazing man, and Kelvin, I got to know Kelvin and asked him up on my podcast, and as you know, doing these shows, you get to know people really well, and
absolutely,
you know, I've spent less time with a girl in bed, like seriously, than we are here tonight, getting to know them, and that, all jokes aside, and as bad as that sounds, like, I mean, it was a great 32 seconds, but don't get me wrong, like, it was pretty cool, but 2 hours when, and no one talks anymore, mate, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I fucking feel real good, but yeah, no one really talks anymore, so it's a case of, I love these things, absolutely, and that's when I knew you were doing it and what you were doing, and I thought it's a great platform to get us bullfights on there, and, you know.
Absolutely, and that's again, like, it's been a huge eye opener for me, and I'm still very early days. I've only been doing this for nearly 5 months now, but it is something. It's something that I'm getting better at as well myself. You know, every time I talk to someone, I feel like I get like 1% better, but it's the same as learning a new instrument. It's a new trade. It's a new thing. You have to sort of learn how to communicate and sort of think on your feet and stuff. And it gets better every time, but I still feel like I'm a little bit sort of new to the whole podcast.
I've watched quite a few of the ones you've done, and yes,
cool.
Look, and I've been in the same boat with podcasts. Some people can keep a show rolling. They can just keep it rolling, and it's an easy show. And then some you've really got to push and find questions, and because the last thing you want is you can't have a 2-minute silence where we sit there going,
No, absolutely not.
Huh?
Well, you can, but it's not good.
we're talking about violence.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. So you can't have those silences and stuff like that, but yeah. Yeah, just have your tuna sandwich. Yeah. So
I don't know why I just thought of that. This might be a little bit inappropriate stuff, but just from sitting and looking at I can't remember the bass player's name. What was your name again? Sorry.
Jess.
Sorry, Jess. Just from looking at your headband, it sort of looks like someone's got like a laser just pointing at your head.
Yeah, after doing those unapproved moves tonight,
I was about to say it's probably a part of that.
It's pretty much all spot on.
Sentence.
Yeah, you've got it. Yeah,
so there's no way to hide.
What is this dot made from?
It's locked in.
It feels a bit itchy.
No, it's from the blood of tigers.
Blood of tigers.
Yes.
It's not really a tiger. It's a Maltese Shih Tzu named Harold, but yeah, it'll do. So,
but he was brindle. He was brindle
from a zoo.
Yeah.
So which of the good old episodes that I've done have you watched, and which ones did you like out of the ones you've seen? Love to get some feedback from a pro.
Okay, well, I wouldn't say a pro.
I would.
Well, actually, I could be a pro, but I'll charge.
I work with
you. If ever I become a pro, I'll charge per kilo. How does that sound?
That sounds expensive.
Yeah. So, no, I really want, like you've said, it Spud Gun and that, they're just mad. Those boys, they're the same, those fellas. Clint, I actually sent Clint, I hooked him up with Sebastian Bach and got him on the road with Sebastian Bach and got him to do a tour with...
oh, really?
Yeah, I got rang up to do because I used to be his guitar tech, and I got rang up to go do that job, and I couldn't do it. I'd start a new job, and I do production full time now, but I work for a rather large company, and which I'm not going to disclose on here, crapping on like we do. But so I do production now, and I couldn't do the job, and the job that I got now is a bit of a dream job for me, and enough to sort of say no to going on the road with Sebastian Bach for a week. So when he was flying in, I sent Clint actually on the road with him, and because I remember when I told him originally I was going with him the first time, he was like through the moon, one of his favourite artists. He's like, "Can you get me into the gig? And I said, "Yeah, I'll get you into the gig, no sweat." And I still remember Clint just down the front just going, "Fuck, I'm at a Sebastian Bach concert, loving it." He's so passionate, And so I just thought, and I've known Clint for a lot of years, and I made sure that I'd sort of said to him, like, like, you're the guy, mate, get on the road, go and have a lot of fun. And it'll be something that he's now got for life, that's a memory he's got for life. And whenever he comes into the country, he knows who Clint is. He'll always be at a show, or there's a chance he may go on the road with him again or whatever. But it was just a chance to sort of do a good thing for that guy, because I knew what it meant to Clint, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As much as he comes across like this mad as a meat-axe bloke, he's one of the most beautiful guys I've ever met. Like, he's a genuine sweetheart in a weird kind of way. But
thanks, man.
Yeah, but he's a real he's a nice fellow. He comes across with this whole we're mad as cut snake sort of thing, but he's one of the most deep, thoughtful blokes that you'd ever meet. I really enjoyed. It's usually guys that I know quite well too. I did like Electric State, who seem to be everywhere.
Yeah, they are certainly everywhere, man.
And
good bunch of guys too.
Knowing them as well as I do, I didn't know a lot about them, about some of the inner workings, and like we've gigged with them and we've hung out. And Rob lives up here near where I live here, and see Rob quite like we'll be shopping and we're in the aisles, and I was like, oh God, that guy, So yeah, so we're forced to talk to each other, and
we try to start a beef just to boost sales.
Yeah. Well,
does he bring his megaphone to the shops as well?
Yeah. Check out on aisle 9, and it just fucks up. Like IGA just go into fucking meltdown because he's walking around going, can I get a price check on some mints in aisle 3? And you just see people coming from everywhere to do the price check, and then Rob's there with his megaphone sticking it in his pocket, sneaking out with a couple of potatoes, and so he's sort of. But when I got to I didn't know the whole fuck yeah Daryl thing. Which seems to be everywhere as well.
Good. That's so
the
funny,
stickers
man.
and that are everywhere. We don't do We don't do merchandise because it gets in the way of us buying KFC. Anything that costs us, we make our own CDs. I don't know if you can tell because they're pretty shit, but we make our own music here at the dojo because we don't want to spend money because that's another cheeseburger.
Yeah, hacks into our food budget, right?
Yeah, like if anything that touches our food budget, with no fucking way.
Well, we do our own recordings here. Which, for a couple of trained gorillas, I think that sounds all right. But eventually we'll get into a proper
4 out of 10.
Yeah, eventually get into a proper studio and put some stuff
I know I'm getting sidetracked, but have you ever seen like a painter's house that's never finished? Or you see a mechanic's car and it's a piece of shit? Yeah. I do sound, and I teach sound, and I work in sound and all that kind of stuff. And my records sound like they're the fucking garage days of Metallica. So... yeah.
No, that's really intentional, just to give us that.
Oh yeah. No, we want that raw. Yeah, we definitely want that raw.
Yeah.
Beef. Yeah.
None of this overproduced crap.
Nah. Mastering.
Who needs that?
Overrated. Put a limiter on it. That's it.
A limiter. Exactly.
What's a limiter? What's a limiter do?
What do you mean peaking?
Yeah, the only time we get peaking is when we go to the Chinese shop and get it with a Peking duck. Yeah. So, yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
But those guys. I'm trying to think. You had those guys on from New Zealand. They were awesome.
Which ones?
It was only last week. Yes, Mojo Alice.
Yeah.
And the fact they're just playing in their shed, good sound. When you shut your eyes, they say you just imagine you're in a bar in LA somewhere listening to a good LA rock band. New Zealand's got some great stuff.
Good stuff. It's a really cool thing about most of the Kiwi bands I've been talking to, both on and off on the show, is it seems like they've got a very different work ethic compared to Perth bands. Don't know what it is, but they just seem like they're super switched on, super dedicated, and just take stuff serious. Like rehearse multiple times per week, and like next level. I don't know if it's just sheer coincidence with the ones I've been speaking with, but there's definitely something to it. But they were like, again, they had everything dialed in. If we're talking just about Mojo Alice in general, they had the shit sorted in regards to website production, social media content. They had, picked up a management in Texas and stuff. That was really like the drummer from Saliva runs that management.
Wow.
So
I mean,
and they've only been playing together for 18 months. I was really blown away by that.
I think if we, honestly, and all jokes aside, I think if we weren't all middle age, like I sometimes think, gee, I wish I was 15 years younger again. The things might be a bit different too. But
Nah,
okay.
nah.
But the thing is, if you go back 15 years, like 15 years ago, I was playing. What is it? It's a bit more than 15 years ago. 17 years ago, I was playing Rock Band. We got signed to EMI and stuff like that. And because back in the day, being on a major label and us not having anything of the same technology you have today, it's like a catch-22. Like you didn't have YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and all that stuff. It was a lot harder and a lot more expensive to record because you had to go into a big studio and stuff.
That's right.
The pros and cons to it. I understand what you're saying. Say if you were 15 years younger right now.
Yeah.
Would have been different.
Yeah, the young guys coming up have got so much. They're so lucky.
In one way, and
but you still have experience. Like you have the experience right now of having played for longer, have a different approach to life. And I think one of the biggest thing that a lot of people sort of struggle a little bit with today is time. Because you don't have as much time when you are older and you've got kids and commitments and mortgages and all that stuff. And I think that's the biggest
takeaway to eat.
Exactly, and that of course, like you are bigger. And you need more food. Like you're not 20 years.
Chinese is expensive, man.
It's very expensive, yeah, and takes a long time. Like you order it, they go, "I'll be ready in half hour," and never is. 45 minutes.
But you have Uber Eats now. You didn't have that 15 years ago. You can sit in the dojo and like if you order stuff right now, I'll guarantee you'll have it before we're done talking.
That's actually a pretty good idea.
Yeah. Just putting it out there.
Yeah, that's like second breakfast.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't like eating alone, so maybe we'll do it later.
Brilliant. Yeah, we don't like to eat in front of our fans either. So, or our fan, like
Uber Eats.
We're Uber Eats, yeah,
What?
pretty good. But huh? You idiot.
Why don't you I'm just thinking out loud here. So, if in regards to if we sort of take away the whole Perth Rocks thing, if the main thing, sorry, bad choice of words. Why don't
remove.
If you would like to play with a lot of the bands that are on the bill at Perth Rock, sort of you working in production, having access to those gears, like couldn't you set up your own show?
No.
Why not?
I can't say why, but no.
A work thing.
That's a work thing. No, I can't. No. Nine.
Could you get the nine in Danish? Yeah. Couldn't you could someone else? Could you collaborate and someone else could set it up? Because I mean, all that is. I actually had Carl on the show a couple of weeks ago.
If I filled in to what I do, all this line of questioning, you go, "Oh right, yeah, got it," and you just go, "No, no
worries."
Yeah, no, we can't. It's once again, as I said, it's part of our contract not to talk about what we do, but
it's a prison.
But yeah. So basically, there's a series coming out called Big Bother, and it's like Big Brother, but it's for prisoners. They don't know they're being filmed. Some of the shivving is fucking sensational. Yeah.
And then there's the adult only version of Big Bugger, but that's filmed in the showers.
Yeah. The shower scenes are full on there. Yeah, wait till you see those. But yeah, I think I just blew the contract. So, but
nice.
But no, I can't actually talk. Like, I know, I apologise for that, but no, I can't collaborate. We're in two minds. We love shit stirring. I don't really care if we do or don't. I'd rather play 3 gigs a year and be awesome gigs than play 50 gigs a year to 20 people.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I mean? So we've
done that.
We're biding our time, and like you see the guys, and we used to think, oh, why can't we get a gig? And the thing is, and I know you hear it all the time, and even on your show, everyone says it. Get out there, get to meet the bands and all that kind of stuff. But unfortunately for us, we can't. We've got children.
And no one likes Joe.
No one. Yeah, I've pissed a lot of people off. Yeah, but it's mainly because I couldn't give a fuck and talk exactly how I talk and talk straight and don't care, and pulled out the red card on a few people a few times. But I'm not worried about that. But we simply can't do that. And to be honest, mate, and I know this is complete opposite to what you get a lot, I'm not sucking up to any motherfucker. I don't care if you like what we do, and a few people do. And I love what we do, because when we do play, we blow fucking people away. They go, we had no, because they're seeing guys that have been playing for 30 years that are tight as fuck, that know their shit. They see us on stage and they go, have a couple of these fucking big lumps and that getting on stage. What do they sound? And then all of a sudden they're like, and you can ask people like Sean from Rock Pit, a few of the other bands that I've played with over the years about Kobashi, and they'll go, those boys, and I know I'm sounding on myself, but I don't give a fuck. We know that we blow people's hair back. We rock the shit. We're a live act. What you see in a recording doesn't capture what we do. We're not about rock moves. Fuck the hair. If I wear Lycra, it's likely to fly off me as soon as I brush past a fucking sharp object. So we're not in the show. We don't pretend to be something. We're from the old school where we fucking do our talking with our music.
Yeah.
And it's as hard as fuck. We're as hard as fuck, and that's what we do. And it's none of this bullshit. And I'm not in for the whole, I'm going to come and watch and hopefully, man. I will not go up to a band and go, you guys are fucking awesome if they're shit. And I won't go up to a band if they're shit and go, you're fucking awesome like that. And this is where I go wrong with a lot of people, is because I don't pander. I don't bullshit. And I won't say anything. I'll never go up and say, oh, guys, you guys are shit. I'll never say that.
No.
Keep your opinion to yourself. But I don't bullshit. And then I see a lot of it, mate. And I'm not, and I'll call anyone out on it. You see it all the time. Blokes going up and goes, fuck, that was sick. And then they turn around to their mate and they go, yeah, it was pretty shit.
There was one gig one night where the typical Perth thing happened when because for some reason we always end up playing last, which still astounds me. But the typical Perth thing,
headliners.
Headliners. Yeah, we're breadliners. But the typical Perth thing where half the bands have played, they all go home after they've played their set, and everyone just takes off. And so one night he's called everyone out about their lack of respect, and that was quite a sight to behold. So.
I've seen a bunch of guys went to go get their guitars and pick the guitars. I stopped playing, and I called them out and I said, listen here, you motherfuckers. We turned up and watched you from the very beginning all night. You're going to pick your guitar up and you're about to go home. I don't fucking think so. Put your fucking guitar down, sit there and you watch us play. And then we just rocked out, and we had some attitude then too. And, mate, I'll call people out on it. You don't get this from being scared. You don't get this from being scared. You don't get a big dot, a big red dot. Sometimes it's itchy, sometimes it's gaping wide, but this big red dot. So you've got to have some balls to have a big red dot and warrior, or whatever that's, warrior or something. So, look, I don't mind calling people out on it, Mr. Hammer. There's not too many people, and people get it like there's this whole thing. People go, they get a bit, fuck, offended and that. Bullshit. Half the blokes I knock around and that are good, honest, fucking hard-working blokes.
And I'm happy to let him do that because it's funny.
So what happened there after you?
Of course they did. They sat there. They
set bands out.
Sheepish looks.
But they sat there and watched us. And I just thought, fuck you, and I will if I'm at and it kills us some way because that guy, he's told everyone that not to go home, and I'm just tired of it. Like, it goes on all the time, and you see bands still trying to keep us. Zero fucks. I've got zero fucks if we don't get a gig because, people don't want to put us on the bill. We get shows, don't worry about that. And I've got enough contacts to be able to get what we need, but I'll be the guy that'll stand up and speak for everybody when there's just sort of some bullshit going down. There's some really nice people in Perth, but this whole thing about going out and doing a show and then doing your set and pissing off, I think is one of the rudest things that I've seen in WA. And I come from Newcastle on the East Coast, and I'd done me chops over there, playing around the pubs and that with bands like the Screaming Jets. I didn't play the band. I played with those boys on the bills and all that kind of stuff, and some really good bands over in Newcastle. Mate, you did that, and you never played again. You know what I mean? It was the way it was. It was just it was the ultimate disrespect and the bullshit. No bullshit.
There is a bit of ego, isn't there, going around? So.
It's also like it's just a bit of like it's just lack of respect. Again, like you are there. You're all there to sort of support each other.
We're not going to make money. So.
It doesn't happen and I've played a few gigs around the world too, and it doesn't happen overseas. You know what I mean? It's a It is seriously a Perth thing. It's
really.
Yeah, well, you know why? Because we're spoiled over here a little bit, because a lot of bands play week in, week out, and it's the same system of 4 bands on a night and all that kind of stuff. You do your 45 minutes where
Not what you know.
it's a bit more showcased. It's sort of done a little bit differently over East a lot, you know what I mean? And people sort of, they just don't have the shows over there. The live music industry within Australia has really taken a massive nosedive since the influx of poker machines, and it's just starting to make a bit of a resurgence. So if people do get a gig, that might be their one of 3 gigs for that year. So it's party time for those guys. They're out, they're staying to the end. They're going to soak as much of that in as possible, take as much in, get out. And that's like us too. We might not be able to go out and suck your dick and fucking watch every band out there. But when we go out, we stay out all night because we have to get hall passes to get out for the night off the missus. And we get 3 a fucking year. So if we're out, we're staying to the end, all right? We're going to get drunk, probably get obnoxious, and I'll let you feel me tits. So that's the type of night we're going to have. You know, it's a cracking night. So.
And the problem is the only other ones with hall passes are us, so there's never any action going on anyway. So.
Yeah.
Do you like if you go out on those nights, like do you bring your headbands or is that inappropriate?
Well, I've been thinking about that. We talked a bit earlier about the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu and how they've, you know, they had it. It was an in-house thing and a very special thing for a long time, and then all of a sudden,
everyone's doing it.
Henzo and all that kind of stuff moved into America, and it sort of started to grow. And the Machados went to America and started to grow their art over there. I think it might be time that I let the headbands out of the dojo. They're very sacred. They're only allowed in the dojo to be worn.
Right.
In the dojo because when you actually put one of these on, it's hard to explain, but you'd sort of nearly become invincible. Like an F-111 could fly through the ceiling right now. I'll crack it with a bit of that.
That's impressive, man.
Bit of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I snapped the nose cone off that F-111 as it was ploughing in. And basically the ejector seat would like go out and...
Or, you know, we jump on a grenade and the person who throws it blows up.
Yep.
Right.
So it's like if you're wearing those, like, would you be?
If you're wearing these,
yeah. Would you potentially would you be immune to COVID? You reckon?
Oh yeah.
COVID schmovid.
Yeah.
Had that hundreds of times now.
Mate,
so.
with these on, you're actually immune right up to COVID 46.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but he's right. I mean.
Yep.
You know, if someone wants to throw a grenade, you're wearing this headband and you jump on it, whoever threw that grenade, as he said, boom, gone. Yeah.
I wish there was more Kobashis out there, so more people could sort of learn the sacred skills.
Yeah, but then it gets
of having those headbands.
Yeah.
I suppose then it gets mainstream. You know, it becomes mainstream then.
And we are anything but mainstream.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it would be again. So, but okay. So just to recap as well. So if you do have that, so if you got the headband, you know, you got your grenade, you got your virus, and your fighter plane detection of the deflection skills. What about would you still need to also weigh about, you know, the 140, 50 kilos?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah, well, that absorbs a lot of the...
It does.
You know.
I mean, I'm going to tell you a quick story. Being 145 kilos not only saved my life once, but, you know, I got shot 3 times. And the bullets, couldn't travel far enough into my body to actually hit any vital organs. So... And
we also... No one's ever going to kidnap us, right?
No. A lot of people have attempted. To kidnap us. I mean, I was going to remember that time that guy wanted, because he knew you had a pretty good drum kit and he wanted to do drums, but he thought he had to get you in the van first. And that was funny.
The joke was on him. He came back later with a crane, but we were gone.
Yeah, we were gone. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. It was funny, but because we were hiding and we watched the Thief crane pull up, and he's looking around like, you know. So
didn't notice the brand new pile of rocks in the car park, but it was us actually hiding. With our headbands on, we're camouflaged. You know, it's just.
So just out of curiosity here, so I'm sort of trying to just connect the dots here. How long have you guys actually been together as a band? I know now that Jess just got his his official induction here. So he's been with the band for a year now.
12 months, yeah. So
the band has only been together for 12 months. Sounds like it's been a lot of fancy adventures.
The band was born out of another band. Joy and I were in
another band
called Blackjack.
And I wasn't really liking
where it was going.
I wasn't liking, not so much where it was going.
The music.
I didn't like the music.
Yeah.
I just didn't like it.
And he wrote it.
And I wrote it, yes.
But it sounds like it might have bbeen lacking a bit of a crescendo then.
Yeah, and a lot less Titmus.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, but we're trying to put the frugal back into the jizzbang, you know what I mean? And then as soon as we get that, we're going to have total conflop. And it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. But is there any upcoming recordings? Is there a Kobashi album coming at some
Actually,
stage?
we've got one in the pipeline.
We have a live album almost finished.
You're starting out with a live album. I love that.
Yeah, we don't.
That's so good.
Well, it's because it's what you're going to. Everyone says, "Oh, they listen to our songs." I've copped a lot of knocks to the head over the years, and I've got some pretty short-term memory loss going on. I can't remember the fucking words. We go and sing all the time, and people go, "Oh, I like that new song." I go, "No, it's the old song. I just couldn't remember the words from the last time." They go, "Oh, cool," and then I might play the wrong thing, and the boys will follow me. So, you know, Kobashi's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
We go up with a skeleton. A song skeleton is basically what we go up on stage with because we know that he's going to screw it up somewhere along the line, and we have to just follow.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
but there is a live album in the pipelines, and we are doing some more recordings and stuff. The new one, Vile Nation, should be on the webpage on Spotify.
I go through identity crisis as well. Like sometimes I think I'm people that I'm not.
You're a 45-year-old man wearing a homemade headband.
But not only that, like I wake up some mornings and I go through the whole day thinking I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like, and then if I happen to be gigging that night, it's fucked because I turn up and go, "Oh yeah, Kobashi, we'd like to play some songs. I hope you like it. This one's called Working Out." And then they're just behind me looking at me going,
like, what is going on?
We're fucked. Yeah, we're basically fucked. Yeah, so, yeah, but it was really bad because we were at rehearsals the other day and I actually thought I was Ozzy Osbourne all day. So it was like, I rocked up and I went, "Fucking hell, Sharon, you've put on a couple of kilos, haven't you?" So it was pretty bad. So, but I snapped out of it. I think Jess pulled some moves that we'd been working on. Another reason he needs another in that, you know, so.
Grow the dot. Grow the dot.
So it's tough.
His dot will expand over time, so.
Yeah.
But so a live album. When can we expect a live album? When is it ready?
I've got holidays coming up soon, so I reckon
we'll probably finish it.
I reckon I might finish them then. Yeah, in the holidays, I reckon.
So end of October.
We can.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Free to all. We're just going to put it out there and let people have it. People might even come to a show.
That'd be nice.
That'd be wow. Imagine.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Don't get me wrong. Like, we're a big unit. Like, Kobashi's a big unit, and
literally,
and some of our fans are of the larger ilk as well, which is really good because we played the Den. I reckon we had about 4 people there, but it was packed out.
Yeah, we filled the place.
Standing room only. So it was it was pretty good. 459 bar. We got to turn people away after about 6 people. So yeah. So,
but it'd be nice to get 6 people though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be pretty insane.
But so have you recorded multiple shows to create this live album, or is that just from one specific show?
All right, can we tell them the secret or not?
Yeah, multiple shows. So.
We do shows as well, but we take tracks there. We come in here and we play in the studio live, and we record it as a live song, like all in one take, as if we're playing live too. We do a bit of that for some of the songs that we're not sure.
Yep.
That we're not playing yet, if you know what I mean, and so we're trying to get that sort of sound. But yeah, we're taking when we go to places and that. I've been patching into the desk and getting a bit of a desk feed, setting up a few zooms, putting some condensers around the place, and just getting a real live capture. It's actually got that really old school sound about it. You know what I mean? It's
good old bootleg.
Good old bootleg, but with all the stuff that we've got now, all our compressions and limiters and and all that stuff that we got. But
I love doing it too.
And we can thicken it up a little bit and make it sound pretty good. And look, and even if worse comes to worse, you can go through and you can semi-duplicate something like a kick or something in the song and to get it to where you need. But it still sounds like a. And when I listen to music, I very rarely go and listen to a produced album. I'd rather listen to a live concert any day of the week.
Cool.
Because of the way they lead in the songs and the theatre in the way that they play.
Yep.
If you know what I mean. It's never like you hear the CD and you go, all right. So when you hear the CD the next time, it's going to be the same. And that doesn't do much for me unless it's like a concept album that goes forever and it's like.
You look at the great live albums, like Queen live at Wembley, or
they're the best. They're the best.
Iron Maiden live Rock in Rio, say, or even Rush R40. Those live albums are just the energy is just tremendous, and you just don't get that from the studio recording. So we love the raw energy of live playing.
But there is also something to it when you are listening to a live album and you get the raw from the audience, like that alone can give you goosebumps, man.
We have to put that one in from a soundbite because we don't get that raw.
That's fine. There'll be some royalty-free stuff out there you can add to it.
It's funny because
KOBASHI live at Wembley.
Oh, well, we've got absolutely no shame. We've got a policy. Like if you're in KOBASHI, you sign a contract, and the contract has got a big bit of paper like this. And it's just got 0 fucks. Sign here. All right, so there's just 0 fucks policy.
I've been married for that many years now. That's how life is anyway. Yeah. So
the thing is, we're all past sex, so we've got a whole different outlook on life. Half these young fuckers that are out there are all playing in rock and roll bands because they reckon it's going to get them laid. Well, we go play with so many bands and you see them leave at the end of the night with their mates and go, what? Well, they might, a few of them might have a girl and all that kind of stuff. But and I reckon if you're a young bloke and you just fucking think different, you know what I mean?
You do.
We are so part. That's what I was saying before about the bullshit. We're so past the bullshit.
We end up in bed covered in chicken grease with Doritos on our chest,
We're not out there we're not out there to pull the women, although we could. Because look at us.
Yes, we could pull a few women.
We could pull a few women.
Pull a 747.
They would not have a choice. we could. Yeah. So
that is that. So it's so funny and it's so true at the same time. But that's again like when you're a young kid and you're going, I want to play in a band, sex, rock and roll and all that stuff. But yeah, when you start, when you're married and when you got a couple of kids and stuff, like everything you've said so far is like I resonate with this 100%.
But you know what though, it's made the music better for me. Anyway, the older I've got, the less it's become more about being a knob on stage and just loving the music and loving life.
100%. Yeah,
and that's what I see. And
different values.
I am taking the piss a bit out of the Perth Rocks Festival.
And it does come through with
some of the bands, like, don't get me wrong, I love some of them. Some others I couldn't give a fuck about you quietly, but the fact that the whole rock thing and that, for me, it cracks me up. I'm a rugby league player. I'm the furthest thing from a fucking muso, but I love me music. So I don't have to fit into tight jeans, have the fucking rock and roll hair to be a fucking muso. I'm a muso.
Although I look like Meatloaf a bit.
But I wear rugby league shorts, pair of fucking plugger thongs, and a Bond singlet. I look like a right fucking bogan,
And a headband. Not to forget, that is. I think that is no doubt the biggest. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. Ow. Oh,
yeah. But again, I was like the biggest. I have to be careful by using that word when I'm talking to you guys. But the best thing about you guys is that you're not taking yourself too seriously. I love that. Yeah.
We don't take ourselves seriously, but all jokes aside, the music we do, right? We're quite proud of the things we write, and our writing is, we're writing better and better stuff all the time, and we're even just with our recordings and stuff, we're just learning more and doing more and growing more, and we're really proud of what we write and what we come out with, because no one else is doing that. You can go to a gig and the 4 bands on the bill will all sound the same. It's all the same music. No one's doing this almost throwback to hair metal / grunge / thrash circuit.
They are. We just don't get to play with them because they're on the Perth Rock Festival.
So yeah, we have quite a unique product, and we're very proud of what we do. But look, we're all middle-aged clowns, basically. So we're goofs, but the music, but the music, we do stand by that.
So what is it in your own words that makes you stand out from other bands, or makes your sound so unique?
The fact it's not unique, that's the thing.
Okay.
It's the familiarity of it all, and it's our riffs and that are just those power chords and that sort of it's the riffs you've all heard 1,000 times, but we've made it ours. It's our songs.
We got one song that could have sounded like Motley Crue could have done it in 1987. We've ripped off Alice in Chains.
I actually tell people that. Here's a song, you might know it. It was by Alice in Chains, but we've fucking stolen it.
But that's again also great. I like that approach. Kind of, because you only have so many chords. You have so many ingredients to create songs with, and every time you hear people that are sort of saying, "Oh no, it's so hard to write something original," I said, "Don't write something original. You can't write another. I've mentioned it a couple of times before, but you can't write another Bohemian Rhapsody."
No, we're working on a song now, and it goes like,
just write stuff you're proud of.
Breathe in. Yeah. Like, we just thought, fuck, it's original.
So we actually thought at one stage about covering a bunch of songs and just changing the names. Are you going to eat that swirl? All that sort of stuff. We're thinking about changing the names of a lot of songs, like Pork This Way. We like our Pork This Way.
Yeah, Pork This Way, yeah.
But
Fat Bottom Twirls.
Yeah. But to be quite honest, it's the live stuff. That's what makes us. We stand out anyway. Let's be honest, but we stand out like dog's nuts. But
look, one of the biggest
live music.
One of the biggest things that sold on YouTube was that fat kid doing the imaginary Star Wars shit. Remember that? It was one of the biggest things. People love watching fat blokes do stuff. So if you're out there, dudes, come and watch some fat blokes do some shit. Yeah. I don't care if you don't fucking like our music. Just watching us do the wobbles, fucking worth its weight for the admission.
Watch us sweat and take bets on which one's going to have a coronary first.
Yeah, that's always good too. Yeah, I reckon it's the drummer. Yeah, but anyway, yeah.
If someone eating the breast, we can do all those sort of songs.
So
sharing the breast with you.
The breast of me. So with regards to gigging, like, have you got any ambitions of maybe playing some gigs outside of Perth?
Yes.
Well, they won't let us on a plane together.
Nah, yeah.
For some reason, we have to buy 2 tickets each.
He can go on this one, and there's another flight in 2 hours, Jess.
So maybe Jai and I sit at the back of one on the opposite sides of the plane.
Well, we did, remember that time, and we sat on the back of the Tiger thing and the fucking landed tail first.
Yeah, Jess has got a counterbalance it's up near the cockpit.
Yeah.
But look, maybe inside the state first, if anyone wants a bunch of overweight, middle-aged guys trying to relive their glory.
I don't like the cyberspace shit. I don't care if I don't play until we're playing in front of people.
I
hate all this.
I said within the state.
I don't hate this, but I hate the.
I said within the state. Like Geraldton or Broome or something like that.
Oh, okay.
He's gone deaf at his old age too. So.
That's probably also the only things that are really accessible at the moment. Given the current restrictions. But is it, I guess it's something you would be working on, like to try and get out and play more, or sort of, what sort of ambitions have you got with the band?
We just love playing.
We just enjoy it, and that's why, once again, zero fucks. We've got no ambitions. I know that sounds crazy, like we've got no ambitions. Well, we must have, or we wouldn't do it. Our ambitions are, we play because we all like getting together. We can drink in the dojo, and our wives don't know about it. Did you bring those Mentos? Yeah. Fuck yeah. Right, so they don't know, right? So we can do all that. We're like, you know how old men fucking build steam engines? And they join a man shed and they build steam engines? Well, we like playing fucking rock and roll, but we're like that. But you can't just play in here. You've got to go out and show people what you do.
If we have some good recordings and we're able to put some of our music down that we actually do right from the heart, that's a solid ambition. I don't care if people hear it or not. I'm the sensitive one. Yeah. No, honestly, I love playing, and like I said, what makes us stand out, we do kill it. On this, like we do.
The fact that we've got a combined weight of 780 kilos.
Yeah, it also
sets us apart from a few other bands.
It does. We're like a wall of amps, but just a wall instead.
There is a wall of amps. You just can't see them.
But we just really love playing live, and that's what makes us there. We just have fun. Yeah. It's fun. And you know yourself, the buzz you get playing in front of people is nothing that you
shit, yeah.
And you do see that in the show. Like, I mean, as I said, the fact that we bust our ass for a gig's probably a good thing, because when we do get to play, we go, fuck, we're gonna show you. We're gonna show, and we've got this self-belief, and we have been around, and look, I've played with some of the best artists in Australia. Now, like, I toured around for years with a guy called Phil Emanuel. I don't know if you've heard of that bloke, but Phil Emanuel, for me, is one of the best guitarists in the world. And, and I got to tour with him, and I learned so much from him, and doing tours with Sebastian Bach, and then working for people, like other bands and that over the years, and people that are in the industry, and working as a tech for the people in the industry, like even guys, some of the country fellas that I worked with, and you watch them get on stage, and you see, and I go out and I watch all these guys in Perth, and there's a handful of people in Perth that are getting to that level of performance. And it's like when you talk rugby league or you talk AFL or football or whatever, that's the reason there's a Premier League, and that's why these guys are the premier artists, because you can't be here and you put on a performance, and it's just, these guys have just got it. They've just got that thing when they just sound either so good, they're so casual about it and make it look so easy, and it's
we're not there.
We're not there. No, we're sort of we're
climbing the ladder.
Yeah, we're
trying to avoid relegation.
Yeah, we're still rolling up leads at the end of the gig. Yeah, we're sort of we get to lift the shit in the back of the van. So
no, Jesse's son does that for us now. So
we've got a roadie. Yeah, we've got a roadie.
So what is it? What is it that makes these like you mentioned, like a handful of bands? What is it that makes them sort of next level?
Oh, you go to a show and you can see it. They just jump out of it. Look, I think Electric State are close to it right now. There's a few other
absolutely.
There's actually a couple of really underrated bands in Perth as well, and one of them's
KOBASHI.
Yeah, KOBASHI. No, there's I'm trying to think of them. They've got two singers up front. They were down at the Baltimore on Saturday night. They're a surprise packet for me, because who would have thought two singers bouncing off each other, but it kind of had like a rock version of Beastie Boys element about it. And I was a massive fan. Pterodactys. I was a massive fan of the Beastie Boys, and you talk to these guys, they come off stage and they look like they're sort of like, one might sort of sell furniture and the other one might, I don't know, be an IT expert or something like that. Like they're once again older fellas, very non-invasive type of blokes. Like they're sort of different to us. We're probably in your face a bit, but when you're backed up against the wall and the room's only 10 foot wide, we're going to be in your face a little bit. But the thing is, but then they get on stage and just blow, and it's bands like that are actually, they're just, you put them in the right environment and they would swim, they wouldn't sink, And there's a few bands that seem to be playing around a lot. And they're great. There's so many bands coming through which are good, but there's also bands that ain't. And there are these levels, and as I said, Cub and I played a lot of rugby league at a high level for a lot of years, and you have to go through the grades. You start off as a young fella doing your juniors, and then you might make reserve grade, and then you might make the top grade, and then from there you're selected for trials for a professional club, and you slowly go up, and then but you see the difference each time you take a step, and you jump up a notch, and it's a level of performance, and the Perth's got it, but it's amazing what people want, and I think the industry
exactly.
It's amazing. Yeah, you might be the greatest band, but if people don't want you or they're not really into you, as I said, like I can see songs like Viking that was on earlier being a lot larger in Scandinavia than Australia, or we might have had it on airplay or something a week before Viking had a new season out, and they went, I found it or something, and it popped up on an internet thing and someone played it. So they'll listen, oh, that was cool, but they'll never really listen to it again, unless you've got the BGMs and the big marketing companies behind you pumping heaps of dollars into you.
Yep.
The days of being discovered and really doing things are so rare. as we know with the way the industry is these days, it's cookie cut. This is what we can do. They can produce you. You've got the look. All right, now we're going to, you're happy to sign this? Yep, all right. Now your face is going to be everywhere. So,
and you'll make us money.
Yeah, but there is still, like we had Gyroscope come up locally here the other week, and, Gyroscope.
We weren't asked to support them.
You don't sound dark at all. They were up here the other week, and they were great. And you can still see that even though they go back 15 years ago when they were really hitting their straps, they've still got a big market here in the Perth today. Why? Because they're climbing up into that echelon of band. They put on a good show. So, yeah, it's really cool.
But it is interesting sort of to see how the industry works this day and age. And again, it's a very, very common conversation topic that I have with other bands as well, is how you break through the noise, like how you, if it is something you do want, because again, like let's also be honest, it's not all bands that actually want to take it to the next level. But if that's what you do, if you want to make it more than just your Saturday morning golf swings with the boys, or again another night out, with a hall pass, then really what you need to do is focus a bit more on the online game. And you're right, exactly. If you do get a label, if you do get someone else involved that are happy to do all that work for you, on the expense that you sort of hand over all your pride and glory to them, then that is probably what you need to do. Like, you need to think outside Perth. You need to think overseas, and think big.
Yeah, and we don't have any pride anyway.
And you bang on, because it's when the overseas bands come here. Like, I've worked in the industry for a lot of years. I've done sound in a lot of venues around the place, and I've done certain things around the place. When they've come in I've been on tour with bands that have come over, and you think, how do people even know about these bands? Yet they're filling, like the theatres. I've done a show a couple of years ago in the Tivoli, and they had the band over there. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. It wasn't Cog, because they're Australian. They're from over. They're very similar, and I didn't know the name of the band, and I just went, "Wow, who are these guys?" They played the night before the show we were on, and then absolutely filled the theatre. And I went, I've never heard. How could I not have heard these guys? And heavy. They were heavy, but they were awesome. And and I think sometimes you make it overseas first, before you. It just depends. It's just weird. You never know, and you can't do that without your online.
No, you can't. You can't.
But that's why we knock out a few film clips. Like, we're slowly chipping away at what we put. And look, we got no shame. I'm of the school of, you can't be too precious with it. You got to just release it as it was, because you get to see it for the first time. We watch it 58 times before we let it go. And you become too critical on it.
We try to be careful not to overproduce anything.
Yeah, we actually like the mistakes, and if someone fucks up, we go, let's leave it there. And there's songs from the 70s that I love, Led Zeppelin and bands like that. You can hear mistakes in the song, and it's what makes them. And people love it. They go, I love it, because it's and half these weird riffs that they used to do back in the 70s and the 80s, early 80s, all these weird sort of, and you'll hear this sort of one weird riff in a song that he did, this weird notation, and you go, that's fucking weird. And you know why? Because he didn't mean to do it. And that's why it's so wrong. But now it makes that song really unique, and it's fucked when you're playing a cover band and you're trying to do this thing and it's way out of scale and it's not in your head, and you're trying to play it and you go, oh, fuck, this is doing my head in. And then you watch a documentary on the artist, and they go, yeah, I remember Keith done that. He didn't fucking mean to do that, did he? He got his scales all wrong, and he fucking played these weird scales and that. But we just left it in the song anyway. Fuck it, we're not going to record that again. So we come from that school,
Yeah.
We just do it. You know what? That's it. That's KOBASHI, baby. Get it out there, because Pete.
Hey.
He's definitely dead. But when Pete used to be alive and he used to play for us, he's very critical of his lead solos, and you heard that in things. He's a great player. He's got a great touch, but he'll do 50 takes, and we go, the first one was awesome. Nah, I reckon I can do better. Then he'll do a second one, and it's very rare that he can do better than his first one, but he's a perfectionist, and he wants that. And I'm just like,
let it flow.
Yeah, no worries in that. And I'm just like, yeah, because he's in the other room, in the recording room in there, and I'm just like, record.
So that Viking,
half the time I don't even press the button. I'm just going, yeah, do it again. Don't like that.
the Viking you listened to at the start. That was.
I'll put a bit of verb delay on his lead break. Oh, that's the one. Listen to this, and it was the one from 5 takes. He goes, yeah, fuck, that's a good one. Yeah, I'll keep that one.
Honestly, we are like that.
He'll never speak to us again.
So Viking was one drum track. That drum track in Viking was that was it. There was no.
He just sat down and went, boom, boom, no perfect, that'll do.
Yeah, no overdubs, no click track, just.
But that's another thing. We don't play with a click track. We don't. Nice. If it creeps in and out, it's organic. Yeah. It's organic. I hate this cookie cutter stuff, But in saying that, I listen to some of the guys that have got major production, and it makes us sound like a bunch of blokes in the dojo.
Oh, it's a different way. It's a different way of doing it. It's it's a different technique. You know what I mean? Like it's just a different approach.
We're lazy. We are lazy,
and we're economical with our movements.
Oh man, that's gonna haunt me forever, man. Seeing that the drill with the lollipop, man.
Wait till later, you see where I put it with Jess. It's gonna haunt him for the rest of the night as well.
Well, he'll wake up tomorrow with a bigger dot, I suppose.
Actually, you know what?
Somewhere
that can be his punishment. We're gonna roll that in gravel,
roll him in gravy,
and then I'm gonna take to Jess with that drill and a paddle pop rolled in gravel. So. Suck him up, big boy. Yeah, here it comes.
That's right. I do my sucking free.
But now, what I was going to say, like, it's like sort of recording with or without a click again. It's something that's been brought up a couple of times as well, and it is something that it does suit some bands and some genres more than others, because if you are playing sort of that organic sort of bluesy rock feel. For instance, like Mojo Alice from New Zealand, it's another example. Like they recorded the whole album like that live in their studio as well, and then just added a couple of compression limiter to it again, and it worked really well for that sound. If that's what you want to do. But yeah, definitely, like hands down, other bands cannot do that because it needs all these extra layers.
You look at a band like Bayview Suspect, right? They're full on there. They're amazing. They're a bunch of young dudes that are sort of coming up the scale too. They're heading to the stratosphere of metal world and they're hungry and you can see it in them. But it'd be very hard. You couldn't just go live in it because you don't get that kick. You need to
That's
with their
right.
triggers and all that. You need to add all that to get it to the sound they want. So, but I'll tell you what, I'd hate to be setting up for see the setup for their for a show, and they had a lot of work, but they're really keen. But to get all that sound, so you're right, you can't have certain genres. We're sticking to a kind of a 70s rock sort of feel with a bit of a metal. But we just done a song called Vile Nation, and it's kind of in the feel of he's a massive fan of what's that band you like Theocracy?
Queen, Iron Maiden, Theocracy, Rush.
Like he loves that theatre metal type stuff, and
yeah, right.
Yeah, so
I love my power metal.
So I appeased the gods, and we decided to do a twin guitar intro and all this kind of stuff, and but with this really sort of chainsaw sort of organic sound, and I'm singing me freckle out to try and get the vocals to sound.
It literally does
right
sound like you're singing his freckle out too. So.
but it works, and it's so riffy, and I encourage people to have a look at that song because I think that right now is the pinnacle of KOBASHI and where we're at with this song, and you can get it. It's on like all the
Spotify.
No. Yeah, it's in all the stores. It's in all the record stores. Yeah. It's on SoundCloud, and but you can buy it off a hawker in New York.
Sanity Records.
It's a very different KOBASHI again. And it's a little bit more produced, but it's still underproduced.
Next to the Walkman.
It's still done just live in here, you know what I mean? And but what we did is we just decided to compress the shit out of the final product.
Gave it with the limiter too.
We used the limiters. We opened the gates. Yeah, we
nice.
Yeah, we did we did a job on it, and we ended up with a sound that we really love. So now we're going to maybe write one or two more. Never do it again. Yeah. Maybe write, a couple of songs down in that vein as well. We just don't know where we're going, and that's the thing. We're we're experimenting the whole way through this. We don't even know what we are.
Yeah, so a song just develops like Cradle. I was listening to a lot of Gojira, and there's one song by Gojira that really stuck with me, and I said I'd like to write something like this. Get that out of your mouth. And it turned out to be a completely different song, but we just started writing something together in the rehearsal room, and the Kraken is the most simple, basic riff.
Dunk, 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 dunk. Oh no, it ain't. That's Viking.
That's Viking, you idiot.
That's why I got problems.
Yeah. So, but it's so basic. But we were able just to build songs off simple little licks and ideas.
It's simple, yeah. It's just there's no guitarist is going to sit back to us and go, "Wow." Yeah. But they'll probably just go, "Oh wow."
We're too old to
but
be
you
right.
don't. But you totally don't need to overcomplicate things anyway.
No.
Like again, if AC/DC, perfect example.
Yeah, same album 16 times. Yeah.
Meat and potatoes, bang.
And then they brought out the next album, which was like potatoes and meat. And that was pretty good. So.
Exactly.
That was
but that's again like if you got a good recipe, man. If it's not broken, don't fix it. They obviously had something that just worked. They just hit a market.
The other thing too is like we're creative. We're not going to stop. We're creative. We're good mates now. You know what I mean? Like we go to the beach and we put our board shorts on and we walk down the beach.
Try to roll us back in the water.
And like
has the beach to ourselves at that point.
A lot of that. And people
try to bait us with buckets.
People look at us and just go, look at those good looking blokes.
Yeah. Like that's an Australian beach body.
So we're amongst like sort of minded people. Yeah. We look at each other and we don't let it get to our heads. They go, like. You see some blokes which is hot as fuck like us, and it gets to their heads and they start doing their hair.
Because body hair's coming back.
Body hair's coming back. Like we're getting back we're bringing back the back hair and a lot of girth, and you know what? We don't let it get to our heads, and we go and we say to all those ladies, it's okay.
Because how dad bod's meant to be sexy. Well, we're dad bod plus.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
So we're extra dad bod. Because we can be extra sexy that way. Right?
We are. So, I mean, seriously, like we go to.
It's also those headbands, guys. I must say those headbands is like
so good to see that one on the chest.
I wanted to say icing on the cake, but again, it's probably
someone say cake.
Someone said
exactly. Yeah, it's
I smell.
Hey.
That's how I got Adam in the band.
Nice, you fucking cracked me up, man.
I got Adam in the band like that. They said, "How are you going to get the big unit to play with you?" I went, "Piece of cake."
Yeah. 2 pieces. Thank you.
Piece of cake. Mate.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That is so good. I think that joke is just cannot get old with you guys, man.
No.
We won't get old. That's the point. We'll all be dead from a heart attack within the next few years. So we're not going to get old as it is. So.
Yeah, fair point.
Fair chance we're going to be turned into soap or some beauty products. Yeah. So
or glue.
Or glue. Yeah. So.
Would that be something you'd be? Is that something that's in the cards? One day when I die, I want to be shampoo, conditioner.
Well, I offered to donate my body to science, and they offered to donate it straight back and said no, thank you.
I want my casket to be carried by 2 supermodels.
Nice.
Yeah, that's going to be a funny thing to watch. Yeah, in high heels.
Yep.
Yep. On stones, on pavers. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be good. Upstairs. Yeah.
Is that
400 meters?
Oh, that's a tough call, I suppose.
No, but that'll just be his ashes that I'll struggle with. So.
Yeah. No, we definitely are going to leave a large footprint. Actually, our carbon footprint is out of control at the moment. We need to work on that and appeal a bit more to the sort of the hippie folk out there, So
well, that's because John's got a gas problem, so it is affecting the many layers of the ozone.
I always thought farting was good for you, and I called it a mythos. So apparently it's not. It's not at all. It's not good for anyone else around you either. It's
no, that's it. That's it.
Adam did a fart about 3 days ago, and you wouldn't believe it. He walked in the dojo and it surfaced.
Yeah.
It was fucking huge. Yeah.
Well, I think you brought up earlier that I completely forgot to ask about was you mentioned you had a podcast.
Yeah. So
can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yes. Well, since this new job, it's really slowed down. It's not. You blow me away with your commitment. I mean, what do you do? 3 or 4 a week?
I'll be doing 6 this week, which is
this week,
which is too much. So again, I'm deliberately.
You're like Joe Rogan on crystal meth. What the fuck? 6 a week in 2 hours.
I wish.
Wow.
Yeah, but So I'm gonna sort of slow down over the next 2 weeks because again, I need to catch up with the editing of all the ones I've done so far. But
not only, my friend, you got a little kid there and a wife there that's probably want time.
And if you need lessons about lazy, come to us.
Confliction that I get too is when you do podcasts and you're out playing and you work and all that kind of stuff, and you've got a beautiful wife and a beautiful little kid there. And a couple of years ago, I lost my brother. He just dropped dead, and it taught me that money doesn't mean fuck all. People come and go. The world keeps turning. Shit is what it is. But the most valuable commodity on the planet is time.
Yep.
And time's something that we're here for such a short time. And when I see people out at a restaurant together with their heads buried in a phone and that, it just blows my mind. Because I'm sure if they knew that they were going to get hit by a bus the next day, they might try and have a conversation with that person. So treat every day like it could be the last minute with somebody. And
who's the soft one now?
Yeah, but it's just...
I think we all are.
Yeah, we are.
We're all pretty spongy. But it's in time, and that's why I've sort of slowed down on the podcast. But it's called Stacks. I've had interviews with musicians from all around the place, all over the planet, people that are no longer with us, all sorts of people, comedians, just guys that love a chat, and half of it's lighthearted, some of it's serious. You just never know where it's going to go, and as you know, with this thing, it's an amazing thing. But wow, 6 a week, hat off to you. So I've done probably 50 to 60 episodes on this podcast, which run for a few hours as well. But I just wait till someone comes along. I don't actively go out and try and. I used to do that, and I found the people that I was getting on weren't the right people. They were trying to either sell something or they were trying to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They were just sort
doing
of
it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, and if you open it up to everybody, mind you, this is exactly how we got on here. But if you open it up to everybody, you just sometimes.
All right, he won't have us back.
Sometimes you don't get the right content. You know what I mean? You don't get the right content.
Yeah, for sure.
And so you've spent. And look, there's probably 14 or 15 out of that 50 that I never let go to air because it was just terrible. It was just. People didn't know how to do an interview. They didn't know how to talk about themselves. They didn't know how to communicate. And most often it was younger guys who would just sit there and, yeah. And it was a shit interview. So what, and it was sad because they'd sort of say to me, why didn't you put my interview out? And me being the soft touch of them, so because it was shit. And it sort of hurts him. And I said, mate, you've got to be able to talk. I was listening to it. I'd send him a copy and go, you can't have these dead spaces. So, yeah. But I found it hard. And look, I still do it. Kelvin's got Neighbour of the Beast. I don't know if he spoke about that the other week.
Yeah, he did. Yep.
So what I plan to do is, because I am pressed for time, I had a show on that called Stacks Radio. But I was basically a radio station with all these characters that I was playing. So the Arnold Schwarzeneggers and the Aussies and a guy called Kenny Singh, who was a neurotic newsreader, and all these other things. And I enjoyed doing that. But to do an hour show each week was taking so much time away from my family that I've had to say, look, Pete, I just can't do it anymore. My family comes first. And so what I'm going to try and narrow it down and do 5-minute skits a week so I can. Like Ozzy Osbourne might be the guy that I might send off to Neighbour of the Beast, so it could just be a 5-minute thing on Kelvin's show.
Yeah, gotcha.
Pete can have Kenny Sing the newsreader, and I'll just do a piss take on all the music going on in Perth at the moment, and just come up with completely bullshit story. I remember one I'd done on Matty Hort from Commander Panda about how he was a male model and all the girls loved him and all this kind of stuff, and that he had all these people chasing him, and he sort of got to me, what the fuck's that about? And I went, I don't ask for permission. I don't care. I'll just go fucking make up something about somebody, worry about it later. And Pete loves it. He'll put it there, but I don't. It's funny content, but there's no personal attack. You know what I mean?
There's nothing malicious in it.
There's nothing malicious. It's basically something that's out there in the open that's everybody knows about, and I'll take that and I'll just run a mile with it. So,
but that's what comedy is, though.
Right. Like, that's what. Yeah. I'll wobble away quickly.
Waddle a mile.
So again, like it is like you're grabbing something that is so obvious, or something that is a part of like your like a daily routine for most people, and you make it funny, like you put your own spin on it.
You know what cracks me up? Like this is, and I've done it for ages, and these boys know it too because I think they've started doing it as well. If someone does a post about a show they're doing, I'll just write Kobashi.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
That's right. I just write Kobashi.
That's how we got blocked from Perth Rocks.
That's how we got blocked from Perth Rocks. And I found out some info, like Paul California, and the reason I thought I'll sort of go down Carl's path is like I've never met the bloke, but I've been watching his videos about how he's got this alter ego as well, like the wrestler and all that kind of stuff, and he's got this big persona. So I thought, fuck, I can have a bit of fun with this bloke. Complete opposite. He's like, he sent a message out on their site saying, you know, does anyone know this JD bloke from Kobashi? It's getting close to borderline harassment, because every time he was doing something, I'd just write Kobashi, and I'm not hurting anyone. I'm just putting Kobashi in everything that people write about like that. And I was just like, Kobashi for Perth Rocks. And then he got a bit weird on it. So I said, listen, you pay your dues. We're all blokes. Give us a crack. And he just went, blocked.
But having said that, borderline harassment, I think, is a great name for a song. So we're going to write.
So we're going to write a song now called Borderline. So thanks, Carl. Yeah, cool. We're going to write Borderline Harassment. Yeah. So it was just funny. Like something as simple as just like, mate, I've tagged lawn bowls tournaments. People put stickers up. If I'm online and someone goes, oh, we've got a fate day on at Yanchep on Sunday the 31st, I just write Kobashi. You know,
that is so good.
There's a darts tournament at Two Rocks coming up. You know, if anyone would like to enter, and I just write Kobashi. And the amount of people,
it is like an online sticker. You're absolutely right.
You just said it yourself. You've seen it, and you know about it. And I get other people.
What the fuck? What's happening, man?
That's what this whole documentary is about. Who the fuck is Kobashi? Because a lot of people are going, who the fuck's Kobashi?
Or what's a Kobashi?
Or what's a Kobashi? Because I just write.
It's like a Japanese hot dog or something.
Massive hot dogs.
Yes.
Someone said hot dog. So it's our way. It's kind of our kind of spam. You know what I mean? And it's harmless. But geez, I fucking laugh when people take it seriously. I've wrote Kobashi and people are blowing up. And I go, people, can you not post that on our gigs? And I went, no problem. And then the next line is Kobashi.
maybe that
makes it fun. Exactly, that makes it fun. Yeah.
But it's funny because I do it on all the shows coming up in Perth.
Yeah, the funeral was a step too far though, Joe. But that's
I thought it was funny at the time.
Please come and for a memorial service. Kobashi is just not a good look, right? So.
Yeah.
But it is, I suppose, again, that again also comes down to the, the experience, like being a bit older, not, as you mentioned yourself, like not giving a fuck, not taking yourself too seriously, just have fun, you know what I mean?
But people who know us know that's what we're like anyway, right?
Yeah,
so we're just having a joke. I mean, the music's not a joke, but we're just having a laugh along the way. So.
Well, to me, as I said, I'm funny, like anything and I'm bad, like I've lost jobs over it. Where people said, "Oh, you need to be serious." Like, I got called in a serious job years ago, and I had to have someone come and represent me. In the job, you have to have a person come in that's like a witness to basically your sacking. You know what I mean? So I hired a clown.
Right.
I actually hired a clown to come in and come in and do the sacking, and that was the person. And they're called support people. This is where our fucking world's got to. You need a support person to go in and have a serious discussion if you've got a job and it's a problem, you need a support person. So I hired a clown as my support, and I said, every time they mention something where I've done something wrong, can you do the on your horn, right? So they said, look, we're really concerned about, we've had a few complaints. And I says, my support person. Well, I knew I was getting my ass thrown out of there that day. And we're talking high up jobs in the government sector. So the higher up these jobs, the more serious they are. And I still reckon the best thing I've ever done was pull that support clown in for me for my technical sacking.
Was there any way you could have gotten that on camera or something? That would have been the.
We're trying to get him
legally. They could have had its issues because.
Of course.
You know what I mean? As I said, government departments are very hush-hush about a lot of things they do. And
next time he's going to hire a mariachi.
But next time I get sacked, which is always well on the cards, I'll obviously do a support clown gig again, and I'll do my best to film it. So
zero fucks given. So I'm sure.
Fucks, yeah, but it was the best thing. It's still to this day the best thing I've ever done in life was have a support clown go into me when I was getting sacked from a role for a department up north.
Oh, man, that is epic.
Yeah, it was talked about for years, and I remember walking out, and then one of the girls that was at the front counter, she said, "That's probably the best thing I've ever seen in my life," and she's just like crying with tears. And when the lawyers have walked out for the company and they walked out, she's there tears, and I have to pull on this real straight face, and they just looked like this. Couldn't believe this. And when they said, "You've got to take this seriously," that was the best.
Oh man, that is so good. How do you top that? How do you top that?
You don't top it. That's the best thing ever. Someone's thinking they're breaking you by. This is why I've got this is the mental type of attitude that I got. When people try and break you, humor defeats everything.
Absolutely.
Everything. And when someone thinks they're making your life miserable and you walk in with a support clown, you've fucked them. You've checkmate. You've just win. Checkmate. Because it's like, you could lose your job. Meh. You need to take me seriously. Yeah. So,
man.
And that's the attitude I bring to Kobashi. That's where we're at with Kobashi. We're serious about our music because it's, but not entirely. We're not serious people, so
it still comes from like we write about mythology. And
we love mythology.
Stuff that we love. We write about things we love, like Turkish temples and the Kraken, and Vikings and bizarre preachers in Newcastle, and all this sort of stuff. But we're not. We are clowns ourselves.
We've got actually a song called The Preacher. I'll tell that story. It's about I won't mention his name. I don't know if I can, but
Bob.
Father Arthur. I'll call him. I'll leave. I won't say his surname. But he was a guy who I come from Newcastle and up in the valley, who had a really bad history of things going on with young kids, And one of these guys got older, went back and he shot him, killed him outright. Wow. And the song is about. It's called The Preacher, but it's about. Metaphorically, he was putting the gun in his hand. You know what I mean? Like it's sort of,
it wasn't a euphemism.
Yeah, it wasn't like he actually sort of like he goes, by what he did to this young fella many years ago, he put a gun in his hand back in that day, then to come back and shoot him dead later. And I come from a town where I've had mates shot dead. And a lot of bikers and all that kind of stuff, and a lot of stuff went down, like Milpara massacres and all that kind of stuff. And people have lived up there from a very heavy bikie culture. And just recently, I had a mate of mine, and that bloke went up and just put a gun to his head and blew his brains apart, and in his shed with his family. And like it's just bullshit what goes on over there. And it that kind of spurns some of the writing and. The Preachers sort of that was the story out of all the wild stuff that's gone on over there is the stuff that really stuck in my mind. And
so when I said we write about stuff we love.
So in the songs, as much as a piss take us being like that, but there's a few of I'm a bit of a storyteller with some of the writings as well. Göbekli Tepe is about a Turkish temple, Göbekli Tepe, Potbelly Mountain, and it's about an ancient site that's been discovered. They talk about like we've been around as a modern civilization for 4,000 years. Well, that dates back 11,000 years. So go and explain that one. You know what I mean? So we're I love listening to people who talk about not so much ancient aliens, but ancient history. And Randall Carlson's a geologist who talks about how we're people with amnesia, and we kind of forgotten our past. And I've got this theory that the pyramids weren't built by humans; they were built by someone else, the Sumerians or whoever, or the Anunnaki and all that kind of stuff. Then something happened to the planet. There was obviously floods. A lot of people got wiped out. There was a major catastrophe, and we started again. You know what I mean? And it was the people who lived in small pockets, who knew how to hunt and gather, and could build up again. It was the civilizations that got wiped. If we got hit by a meteor now, I wonder how many of the people listening tonight, the whole 3 of them, or 4, whoever wanted to listen to Kobashi Rabbit on, knows how to go out and skin an animal, hunt it, skin it, prepare it, to the point where you're putting it on your plate.
Yep.
You know, if everything breaks down, and COVID was a little snippet of that. You know,
we have these deep things, and we write about crystal meth. So we get here, and this is the shit we talk about. We just sit here and have a few whiskeys, and we love our Japanese whiskey, and we'll just crap on. But they're the discussions we're having. You know, like we're young, it's about fun and being cool and fucking shagging birds and chasing girls or guys or whatever you want to do. We've done all that. We're way past that. The songs that we write we can't chase anything.
That's stuff that we're, as older fellas, we're sitting back going like, how the fuck did that happen? You know, like what?
Yeah.
How did they miss? How did certain elements of
we asked that question about
history,
our lives as well, though.
Yeah, we did that too. Like we look at each other in the mirror and we're like, how the fuck did that happen? And then we sort of look at our garbage bin that's full of like KFC packets and our answers are answered pretty quickly. So yeah, but the other stuff we're still wondering. So when you listen to songs like that and the Kraken, I love that Norse mythology. I've got a bit of a connection to Norse mythology myself, and it's so I've got that vested interest in it there, and consider myself a bit of a modern day Viking in a weird kind of fucking way, and.
I've got Norwegian in me, but that doesn't mean anything. So.
Yeah. I had Jess in me, and that was really uncomfortable. But
that's how we earned the dot.
That's how we earned the dot. Yeah. So,
well, it is definitely so. Like again, getting older and wiser and softer and stuff like it's. I must admit, like after having kids myself, you know, like I've grown into be a bit of a softie myself, you know, like you get emotional about stuff, and you know, it's like again, I think the main thing is like your priorities change. Yeah. Time is as you mentioned earlier, it's a lot more valuable.
I think we get a bit more cynical though.
Probably again in some circumstances, yeah.
I think that boils down to the individual. Some people are very cynical.
I think I've grown into be a lot more tolerant and have a lot less ego than I had. You know, if you took me back 15 years, or even before I was married, or definitely before I had kids.
Kids are the great leveler.
100%. It's sort of like you sort of restart. Like your life is reset, and now you have your life with children. Because that is such a big thing. That's actually one of the main reasons. This is again probably this is I think the first time I'm actually talking about this on the podcast. That's actually one of the main things why I'm doing so much at the moment in music, is because that is ultimately what I want to change over to, because I want to spend more time with my kids.
Yep.
So what I'm doing, you're right. I'm doing 6 podcasts this week, and again, even though I've been talking to you guys for a long time, almost 3 hours now.
Really?
Sorry, 2.5 hours.
Wow.
And obviously a lot of additional time goes behind the scenes to actually prep it and all that. But doing all these things, you know, talking to people, building my network and stuff allows me to then spend more time with my family during the day. Because I'm actually willing to take a risk and saying, look, next year I want to try and do, 6 to 12 months where I do this full time. If that doesn't pan out, so be it. But at least you've given it a full crack.
You're a crack, yeah.
And do you think is there a chance of sponsorship? Is there a chance of commercializing a little bit so that it does turn into dollars and the hits and monetizing it through your channels and all that stuff?
I'm not too worried about that at this point in time, because again, I have a lot more stuff in the pipeline, a lot of other stuff that I want to. So again, something I will be announcing very, very soon, and it's not that it's a big secret, but yeah, there's a lot more stuff sort of in the pipeline.
Yep.
But the main thing is, I just want to get back into music. Like, I've been doing something I'm not passionate about for too long, and again, life is too short. And I think the main thing for me is the fact is seeing my kids grow up means more to me than anything, especially if you are, talking about jobs, that make money, you want to sort of chase your career. If you chase a career and chase money on the expense of not being there for your family, I would give that up in a split second and, live on 2-minute noodles if I could be there for my little boys.
No, I hear you 100%. And with what I do today, I get to spend. I used to be on the road all the time, and now I get to spend every day with my daughter, and it means the world to me. So yeah, 100% on that one.
How old is she?
Just turned 4, going on 36. So she's a spin out. But you can nearly interview her one day on. You get a good 3 hours of content out of Kiki as well. So, totally hear you. And it's if you can make that work, mate, good luck to you. We wish you the best. And so, but in knowing that it's wrapped up for so long, I might be the guy that wraps it up and go. And I just want to say on behalf of Kobashi
and Pete.
And Pete. Well, you've got to go over and dig him out.
Fuck him. Move for we're gonna leave him there.
We'll find someone else.
We'll give him a shoe. We'll give him a shoe.
Smoke is gone, by the way, guys.
We'll give him a shoehorn and a book of hope and see if
still something here.
So he's definitely dead. He hasn't moved for a long time, but. Yeah, no, we really appreciate this, mate. And look,
it's been so entertaining, man. It's been.
I know. I'm saying.
Who would have thought 3 fat blokes could be so interesting, right? So.
I know. But that's again when you don't have many expectations. Like I had no idea what I was expecting tonight, and you have completely taken the cake of this has been one of the funniest episodes I've done.
We know your very first thought was, wow, morbidly obese.
No, man, it's been really entertaining, and I'm really looking forward to hear more about your documentary. I'll be a fan there.
Yeah, certain elements have to fall in line. We've got certain things that have to happen in order for it to be perfect, because there is a bit of ambushing that's going on in there. We're catching people unawares and
guerrilla filming.
Bit of guerrilla filming going on, and until we get all the elements that we need for it to be what it is, it won't be released. So we can't really put a release date on it. We've definitely got something coming up.
It is in production, though.
And we've definitely got a particular festival that we're going to turn up and just see what happens. I can't wait for that day.
Having said that, though, we are playing down at the Stop the Violence in Bunbury.
Stop the Violence in Bunbury.
Do a couple of geek shout-outs.
Yeah, we're doing we're opening for a Judas Priest cover band I think it's in the city at the sewing room. So we're getting to do 25 minutes, which is short as fuck. But I actually don't mind that, because we're gonna go that hard and fast for 25 minutes.
It's about our limit.
That's about our limit. Yes. Yeah, we don't have to do one ballad just to get our breath back. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's a 16-minute instrument.
So yeah, that's coming. I actually can't even tell you the date.
25th of September, isn't it?
That's why I've got this guy in the band.
Pete,
what was the date there? So, and apart from that, look, we don't know. We'll see what happens. People might throw us a bone and go, "I might watch this and go, we should get these guys to do a gig," and that could be one of the 3 nights a year we get out. So be prepared for. Look, all we want is just a hamburger. Put a hamburger out there for us, and we'll turn up and play.
We are a big hunker burn of love, but we'll be there. So
we'll be there, and in our Elvis suit glory. So
awesome, man. Yeah. And where should people go if they want to stay up to date?
Oh, it's KOBASHIBand.com.
Just talk to us. Jess doesn't get to talk to anybody because he's got no friends. And
usually I'm the talkative
He's
one.
plugging the media stuff, dickhead. Yeah. So there's Kobashi Facebook.
No, but I'm just saying, talk to Jess online. He'll talk back.
Yeah.
He's really good at
Kobashi Facebook page, Kobashi Band on Instagram. There's the KOBASHIBand.com webpage.
Well, it's basic. It's like if you put Kobashi Band, you're going in the right direction. A heap of stuff will come up.
Kobashi Band on YouTube.
Just Google
Kobashi Band on YouTube is very entertaining. I can vouch for that.
If you just write Kobashi,
not Kabushi.
If you just write Kobashi, be prepared to get a lot of a big Japanese fella in pink underwear. All right, so that's kind of close.
There's also the wrestler as well.
Yeah, and then, the wrestler as well. So, yeah.
Fantastic. So can we expect any sort of like underwear mankini shots of yourselves in the near future?
Yeah, well, actually, we didn't talk about that, did we?
No.
We've just had a really good offer. It's called Mankind. It's a male strip review called Mankind. You haven't heard of it?
No.
No. See, well, what's happening is because everyone's seen male strippers. Now. Right, everyone's seen male strippers, with the abs and the good pecs and good biceps and all that kind of shit. And they're getting kind of sick of, going out in the fireman costume and the fucking police outfit, taking the clothes off, right? Everyone's seen it. Basically, us 3 units walk out naked and we get paid to put our clothes back on.
Yeah. That's one of the benefits you have when you make Jack Black look like a male model, like there's only so many avenues.
And we've worked out dance moves, haven't we? Like, give us all your money.
We're rolling in
and
the money.
And you're loving too. Yeah, and we'll be rolling in it, literally. Like so.
That is cool.
I'm glad we got that in.
Every girl's crazy about a sharp slice of ham.
So, ladies who's watching, if you see like Mankind promotions, and come out and see the new thing in town, and we got rave reviews. Yeah,
there's even mandatory vomit bags they hand out, so there's nothing to worry about.
Yeah, and those things that they use, like when you're on an airplane and you put them over your eyes to go to sleep, they're handing them out. The Mankind reviews as well, so.
And a lot of ecstasy. So
yeah. Except for that chick. Nice. Remember the last gig we did? She came up and kept stroking me and going, "It's a furry wall."
Yes. Yeah. She tried to wipe her feet on you.
Oh no. Yeah. I didn't have my shirt on. So, yeah. All right, Mr. Hammer.
Who's doing that Chewbacca sound? That is so good.
That's me. I don't waste my evenings anyway, so I do a lot of practice of the Chewbacca.
Nice, man. Guys, my cheek hurt because it's been so much fun, man.
So do mine, because I'm fat and I've been sitting on this thing for so long.
Yeah, and my cheeks are basically resting on my chest. So, arigato gozaimasu. Watashi wa Kobashi ban desu. Hai, arigato ne.
Thank you.
Oyasumi nasai, Hammer-san.
I'm just checking out here, see if we got any. We got a lot of comments, man. But I might have to let you guys go back and reply to them after the show because there is.
I'm gonna have to learn to read. That'll be awesome.
Ask Siri or Google or Alexia or something.
Hey, can you do them?
But there's there's a lot of good comments. But I'll probably leave it up to you to go back and reply Kobashi to all of them.
Mr. Hammer, thank you very much.
Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. Before we wrap it up, do you want to just quickly just give us a little introduction to the Falling, which we're going to finish off on?
That's our live one, isn't it?
Yeah, that's live at Midland Hotel. That gig came about. We got rang up just a few days before it. And, and I know the desk out there because it's the old one out of the Charles. So patched into it, got a good sound. There wasn't many people there, but that was all right. But we captured this live, and I've done some trickery with it, and I like the way it is, and hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, it's called The
Falling.
Yeah, it's a bit of a dreamy song. You think you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, it's actually pretty laid back for Kobashi, but so are we.
Fantastic.
Arigatou gozaimasu. Oyasumi nasai.
Johnny.
Thank you. And everybody, KOBASHIBand.com, Kobashi Band on Facebook and Instagram. Go check it out. YouTube as well for fantastic videos in how to do proper music self-defense. I love
It's a real treat for the eyes, isn't it?
Just remember,
It is. It's a real thing.
Don't ever get stuck when you got the butt method.
Fantastic. And on those words, guys, thank you so much. I will look forward to seeing you guys very, very soon.
We don't need
at a venue out there. Fantastic. Take it easy, guys. Talk to you soon.
See you, mate.